you by the Loves Gymnastics Network. Brought to you by the creator of this, Michaela Loves Gymnastics, and her co-host, Oscar, aka Gymnastics Saves Lives, Miss Shayna, and Ezra. And together, we bring you the Loves Gymnastics Podcast. Season 2 begins now. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. We love and appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, bring more people into the community. It's NCAA 2025 time. Let's go, girls! And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Welcome back to my channel, Michaela Loves Gymnastics. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the long-awaited episode of the Loves Gymnastics Podcast. And today, we have all of the children here. We have Shayna, we have Oscar. Ezra said he will be on in a little bit. And today, we are talking NCAA gymnastics and elite gymnastics. We have so much gymnastics to talk about because this weekend we have Jesselo starting and we have Osachek World Cup. There's no NCAA gymnastics this weekend, but the season finale of NCAA gymnastics will be happening in about a week from now, with the last two meets of the NCAA season to determine the NCAA championship. Where do you even want to start, Oscar? We can start wherever you want to start because so much gymnastics. You want to start with the
Before we
elite?
start, you said we have everyone here. Look who else we have. Have I showed you who's on my bedroom wall?
Where bedroom wall?
We have, where is she? Baby Aaliyah.
Aw.
Where should we start? Let's start since we have Shayna's beautiful presence. Let's start with with LSU. Shayna, do we have a new regular season champion winning team? Is that right? Is Shayna there?
Is Shayna there?
Is this thing on?
I could hear you. I'm not sure. I think Shayna is frozen. I think Shayna.
Is it on? Okay. Well, we can start somewhere else.
Okay,
we can start with we can start with
a good place to start. Let's start with at Osachek. This is supposed to be the first World Cup where the Russians are allowed back under their neutral status, and I think we're going to see Angelina Melnikova at this World Cup, unless things have changed and I don't realize it.
Okay, you said that the plan was that the Russians were going to be able to compete as individual, neutral, whatever that was going to be. Last I heard, the Russian girls said, if you're not going to let all of our athletes who we apply for, in neutral status, then we're not gonna let anyone compete.
Oh, so Russia's not sending people now.
That's the last I heard, but you know, these things are so like I don't really I need like three sources to confirm it before I really believe something to be true. And all I've seen is like some individual Twitter users who usually come correct with their information. I mean, not that many people post about the Russians that I follow right now who are like credible or whatever or well informed. This person has been posting lots of new routines. The Russians are still, for me, the best uneven bars team country in the world. All their girls have in bars. All their girls have Komaba transitions. So I miss that. That was refreshing to see, especially since I feel like the US sucks at bars right now. But yeah, I heard that they're not gonna let like they had like Zlata Osakina. She's like a first year senior, and maybe they were gonna send uh Alyona Glotova. She has a really nice she's good bars, good beam. She was doing like a round off full twisting back tuck on beam. You know, like I keep one eye on it. One eye is like, what even is this for besides just like entertainment purposes? Because there's nothing's at stake here. There's no, yeah, what's the expression? Like a means to an end or whatever. um,
But one thing I would give the Russians, as a federation, is they still are training the girls like they have Worlds and Olympics to compete for.
right.
And I think if it was any other country, you would really see a lack of difficulty of talent very quickly because so many people would just retire because what would be the point? But because there is a culture of love of arts and gymnastics in Russia, a Russian national championship still means something to them.
It does. There's also, I feel like, a little bit of hope, you know, especially since they had a lot of sad, probably premature retirements from some of the girls who were like turning senior right when the band began. Um, these girls are now like new seniors, last year of junior status. I feel like they have hope that they'll be able to compete in one way or another. So that the national championship still means something. There's like a rich history and tradition. Um, they also, not to mention, I'm sure the success from Tokyo and whatnot, like showed that this new generation that like success is like possible also or attainable. You know, I'm sure that had to be inspiring. Um, maybe there's fear also. We all know their head coach is scary as fuck in more ways than one. Um,
But
The
I
vault
feel
is regressing, but I don't know that the vault was ever I don't know that the vaulting would
that's
look better
across the
even if they could compete internationally.
that's across the board. Vault is regressing. I it's even with the Americans, Vault is regressing. Like
Vault is regressing, but it's encouraging to see Zoe Malomo upgrade to a double twisting Yurchenko when we all thought she was capable of it for a long time. I mean, ever since 2023 or
but
24.
a girl like Zoe with her power level,
Should have
um,
been doing it ages ago, but who knows
not
why
only
she's
should
not
have
been doing
been doing it ages ago, should be at an Arminar at this point.
it. Oh.
Like just at the track that. Now I understand this is a different regime. They have different priorities or whatever. But
I don't get the vibe that Zoe is going for broke, like willing to risk it all for that extra difficulty.
absolutely, and especially watching her do her pipe front half that she's learning for NCAA, it absolutely feels like already, and it feels like that with a lot of these girls. If I'm going to be honest, and we can move on to the Americans if you want to, if you still want to talk about.
No, I'm happy to keep talk about whatever, honestly. I just, you know me, I jump around without meaning
with
to
the
you.
American. Okay, so this week, so last weekend, so last Sunday. So if you have the Flip Now app, it was on Flip Now because Addicts was streaming NCAA gymnastics, so he didn't stream this. But they
Oh,
had
that's surprising. Okay. Well, keep an eye out. Maybe you're about to say this for some routines, some compilations, maybe to
correct.
drop. You never know.
Keep an eye out. You never know, because I mean, all the routines are on the internet. All it would take is for one person to make a compilation and post them. So
Hmm.
keep an eye out. Um, but I want to say that it feels like so many of the girls on the elite side of the gymnastics for the Americans, and this is the first time in history that I can absolutely say this. And that's absolutely true, Nisha. She did rupture her Achilles a few years ago, so that may have been her setback on her level of difficulty.
I'm sure it did, like, if not physically, mentally. But wasn't there a time where things like that were not really respected or considered as much? Like, that's cute that you are scared to do it. Now go do it anyway.
But maybe that's maybe that's part of the new regime, and maybe okay. Let me finish one thought before you come up with another thought, girl. So what I was saying is, what it feels like for a lot of these girls, they're already preparing their routines for the NCAA now. Like, and it never used to be like that. It used to be, I'm an elite gymnast. I'm going to try everything elite gymnastics wise, and then when I get to the NCAA, I'll just water back. And that's why I used to take them 1 or 2 seasons to really become NCAA ready. But it seems like with this group of girls, with this squad, with this group of girls, even though the Olympics are in the United States of America, they kind of, it's like, fuck that shit. We're going to college and get this money in the NIL. And I think I
What
knew
makes
this
you
was
say
probably,
that and not like, "Oh, we just saw all these top girls doing hard skills go down before they could even make it to Paris. We have 3 years. Let's, like, really pace ourselves and be smart about it."
because, and maybe this is Valeri's issue, and maybe this is why Claire and Jayla's going to fade away shortly.
Different coaches, just to be clear.
Jayla and Claire has different. Aren't they
Yeah,
both Valeri?
no, Valeri is coaching Hesley and
Oh my
Claire.
gosh,
He
what did I
is,
say?
and he used to coach Ashley Sullivan, and she
But
switched
what?
to Metroplex, and Jayla Hang and Simone Rose, who finished second and third all around at this
I'm so sorry.
national
I
team
meant Hesley.
verification on Sunday. They go to
Ooh.
Pacific Rain in Washington.
I meant Hesley
Claire.
and Claire. Maybe that's going to be their downfall is they're doing too much difficulty now. But I can see at least his point of view. It's like we still have a world championships. There's the Olympics is in America. It would be great on your resume to be the world championships lead, the world champion leading into this Olympics, even if it is this world championships, because we don't know what Simone Biles for to do. We don't know what Charlize Jones for to do. We don't
The
know what all of these girls who
It's silly to think that you know what the future holds. The future is so unpredictable.
correct. That's why I can understand the logic of this is a free world. There's no Russians. There's no Rebecca Andrade. There's no, Flavia may or may not be here. Who else? The Italians would be here, but the Italians and the I think the 3 or 4 teams that they have to really contend with is the Italians, the GB, and the China. I don't.
GP. Who is GP sending? Alice Kinsella is pregnant.
Oh, well,
I
yeah.
don't. I'm not gonna believe that the Gadarovas are gonna be there, and I'll believe it when I see it. For me, I think they need to be worried about China. What you just Italy. Italy is the main one, then China, and then probably Japan. And who knows what Romania could bring? They've never had this much confidence.
Hmm. So I think it's an opportunity for the Americans to, you know,
And
still.
Koyeni more, of course. She
Oh, of
could medal
course,
in everything.
Ellie Black also. Um, but I just don't. I feel like it's. I feel like so many of this new group of girls who, under a different regime, would be challenging for these. Like they'd be like, yes, let me go to these World Cups and win everything. Like how Claire just went to the World Cup and won a medal on every event. I don't think most of this group of girls could do that. Now I think
No,
there's some.
I didn't even really know
Wow,
understand
you
that she
finna
had
do it.
medaled in
You finna
everything.
do it, aren't you, Oscar? You finna really sit up there and say, hell, I didn't even think Claire could do it.
No, that's not what I was thinking, at least. I mean, right now, like, I just didn't realize that she had medaled in everything. That's very impressive. If I had really understood that, I would have made a bigger deal of it already on the show. Congratulations, Claire Keys. You did what these girls could not.
And I'm just taking Shayna off until her phone catches back up or she wakes back up or realizes whatever happens. And then we will
Works
add
for
Shayna.
me. Now we can see Aaliyah while we talk. But of course, we pray Shayna comes back as soon as possible.
Yes. But I just don't. Yeah, at the World Cup, Claire is the only gymnast who won a medal on everything. She won beam and came second in every other event.
I mean, I could see it for Jayla Hang if the field was weak, but I think floor would be her biggest challenge, and she stays falling at on beam at these international competitions recently. It's so unfortunate.
I think her beam composition is really stupid.
It's
No,
really difficult, like, but I don't know that it's the only way to achieve that actual D score. I think it might be like not the smartest way to get the difficulty she's seeking.
absolutely not. And like, okay, you're doing a front aerial, switch lead, split lead, layout, step out. Is that the ultimate goal?
Did she actually connect any of them ever? I didn't
She
see
can
that.
she connected it. It just
She
she
did
still
front
fell on.
aerial to switch leap?
Uh-huh.
That's always impressive because that means you have both of your splits. You're using both splits, you know?
Um,
Because that's what or maybe it's not that way, but you know, that's similar to like what Alice did last year.
mhm.
Or Lauren
Um,
Mitchell, if you want to go further back.
it's just I thought that goal was Jayla to do free cartwheel, lay out, step out. I thought that was the ultimate goal. Now I can understand why you might want to,
I feel like
and
it
maybe it was. I'm so sorry.
changes.
And maybe now that I'm speaking, it was free cartwheel, split lead. It was free cartwheel, switch lead, split lead.
Their
Yes.
coach, Kale or Gail, he has them both, her and Simone, doing like low ass side aerial, pause, arm wave, straddle jumps, his own or whatever. And I don't see it ever getting connected. Or maybe Simone does like a side aerial, pause, straddle jump, back tuck. I don't know. It's cute in theory, but I've just never seen it well connected. So I hope that they whatever they're going for is it's going to get paid. They need to make sure that that's happening.
And it's just like I don't understand like why so many of the Americans are choosing these choices with these skill selection. It's like on floor. A lot of y'all are trying to do this damn um what is it? Oh gosh. This switch half turn and jump into your strug. And it's just like
Oh my God. Did that continue to happen? You remember how much that bothered me when we saw that at the Winter
it's
Cup?
more people doing it now. It's like why? What the hell do you think you're gonna get from that connection? Like what why would you even risk not even getting that your elite series not paid? Like I just it's such a choice and it's just is it supposed to be interesting? Is it supposed to be original? Like I don't get it. I don't get it.
To me, it's not even like intuitive that it would be easier for the gymnast to perform, you know? They're going
And
the
it's just
wrong way when they land or landing backwards. I don't
like
know.
why make your athletes do so much work for a series when all they have to do is do a damn switch leap to a damn whatever big jump they're going to because whatever the first jump is
What
in
happened to a just a literal split leap into your D leap? I'm fine with that. We're not counting the switch leap, right?
no, and this is why I don't understand why in America y'all so are determined to make that first jump in that damn a switch ring. Like I don't understand why. Like, do y'all really expect that first leap to get credited for anything other than the damn like y'all don't go double twist into back handspring, double tuck, right? Why? Because it doesn't make any damn sense. You just go round off back handspring, double tuck, or round off back handspring combination. Oh gosh, what?
That's a great way to put it. That's a great analogy or comparison.
But yeah, but now they're determined to force these girls to do these front layout, step out, fulls into the double tuck now, when a lot of them can't do that either. So, but
I saw that Zoe Maloma was training that.
but why? Why not just do? Yeah, if a girl isn't even flexible, why not just do a damn kick leap into the damn big D or C jump at the end of the like? It just it's nonsensical. It's nonsensical.
I'd like a word with these coaches. Maybe
Especially if you have them trying to do like three turns. Like you only counting three dance elements or four dance elements, period. Why do five hard dance elements? Gabby Douglas.
well, you can count five.
But you're doing four tumbling passes.
Oh. Okay, I feel like okay, you guys, I'm gonna just let you in on my thought process for a second, which I haven't really even shared with Michaela. But life has been lifing and I've been busier than usual, I'll say. Usually gymnastics is like really my crutch when life is slow, when I'm depressed. It's spring. I have some opportunities. I've been watching less gymnastics than usual. Also, it's just like so much gymnastics that I'm kind of overwhelmed. I don't even know where to begin sometimes. That's just me, where I'm at right now. But I was like, oh, I haven't watched so much gymnastics, especially elite gymnastics, which is my favorite. I feel guilty or like anxious about even coming on the show because it's like, A, I don't have much to talk about, but B, I also don't want to talk about this stuff weeks or months after it happens. Like I'm going to have opinions. I'm going to want to talk about the exciting parts when I watch it, but I haven't watched it yet. So I've part of me is like, perfectionist, whatever, even though I never get anything perfect. It's like you should not go on the show, not show your face until you watch all the gymnastics, because then you can talk about it. But I just decided I'd rather be here to talk about what I can talk about. And, I love talking to Michaela always and trying to support the show like a good co host. But I want to watch everything And I'm sorry if it's frustrating as a viewer for me to be lagging, but I will definitely have opinions whenever I get to it. So just to be prepared for that. Sorry, that was boring, but I wanted to share that.
I don't think anybody watched this competition. I think everybody's just have
But I
opinions.
haven't watched the one with Claire Pease, the Antalya. I want to watch them all. I don't know what's going
Oh,
on.
I actually posted that one on Twitter. So
And I want to watch like every routine except for like, um, what do I not want to watch? I don't really. I will skim through the pommel horse and I'll just watch the dismounts for the still rings. But I want
see,
to watch like every
well,
routine.
and Talia, I just posted the women. So if you just want to see the women without the watching the men, you have it on my Twitter.
I know that there are gems in every competition. That's honestly how I feel for elite. Like every competition, there's a gem, and every routine is worth watching. It's just a matter of like the right timing, that I'm interested enough that I have the time to do it thoroughly. And sometimes when I'm watching, I want to screen record the things that catch my eye, and it doesn't always make sense that way. It's logistically challenging, but I don't mean to be such a big complainer because that's not fun for
And
me.
to be honest with you, you might as well forget what already happened and start afresh because it's so much gymnastics that's going to happen this weekend. We have the Jesselo, where the
I
Americans are
know.
going to first send a team out anywhere, and we have
The
also check,
Italians better send them home medalists or like just bronze medals for the Americans.
and it's a very, very possibility that they won't win shit because the Italians are sending a team, and it's Jesselo, so the Italians are going to send their best team.
They're gonna send
And
like 3 teams.
yeah, yeah, a team, a B team, and a C team. The Brazilians are sending a team,
That's
but
right.
like a lesser team, no
The
Flavio.
Romanians are sending a team, a
The
good team,
Romanians are sending a strong team too.
their best team. That's their A team, I would
Yeah,
argue.
absolutely. And I think the Japanese are sending a team, but I'm not sure.
I hope so, but I don't know about that.
So it's very, 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 very possible that the Americans can go to this competition and not win a medal.
Nah, I would be genuinely surprised if they don't win a medal,
I mean,
especially like
in the
a
team, in the
a
team, in
team
the team.
medal. That would be crazy. Brazil, Romania, and Italy, because I don't think Italy you can medal with multiple teams, but I could be wrong. It's such a unserious competition, as most Italian
I
competitions.
think the way they set it up is they send like one real team with like their A team, and then they have two other teams with just like random gymnasts that like it's a team technically, but they don't have enough pieces of a puzzle to fill a.
Who knows? Not me.
But I love Just Look because it reminds me of those old American meets when the Americans used to cheat so hard and send like three teams. It used to be like one Romanian team, like with two gymnasts, and like the Americans really used to be like, "That's right, Kids of Mexico won," and you'd be like, "Yeah," because they sent everybody here when when the Romanians had like Lavinia Milosevic and Gina Gojan and like seven other random people. Like, yeah, they won.
Wow. See, I don't think I even knew that Just Low had been going on that long.
No, no, no. I'm just saying, Jessler reminds me of like those old school American meets, like
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just whereas the domestic meets, the ones hosted in the US, you mean?
yes.
Okay.
Um,
I think the last Jeslo I remember was the one Shilese went to, and that was like 2022.
the last one I remember is the one when they sent, "Hey, Texas Dreams, just go ahead and send your whole school."
That must have been even further back, like when Emma Malabuyo was competing, I'm assuming.
It was Emma, Reagan, all of the Texas Dream children.
No, I think Charlize definitely went. I'm trying to remember who else was there. Some people who didn't, their careers didn't pan out so well, maybe. Or maybe even Connor was there. She might have won just low.
Was it the year that it was Charlize and Zoe Miller, and Zoe Miller beat Charlize in the bar finals, and everybody was so gagged, and that's when Zoe made her name for herself?
Zoe made her name for herself in my eyes when she made Olympic trials in 2021. So, and I don't remember her ever being at Jeslo, but doesn't mean I didn't watch it and wasn't gagged and entertained thoroughly.
Mm, what else?
Michaela, do you know this girl? It's always like I need to. I can never tell when you start to retain the names of the younger gymnasts. So I'm just gonna. This is what I'm invested in. So I'm gonna periodically check in, unless you already know her. Do you know a Giulia Perotti, Italy? No, the junior floor world championship, floor world champion. Wow, I forgot that there's going to be a junior world championships this year. That's really something to look forward to.
They're supposed to be, but apparently there's like some issues with um, funding their event. So, like, a lot of countries don't want to host it. So, we'll see.
No, that's like a very important meet. It needs to happen. Um, it should
I
happen
think they should do Junior
anywhere.
Worlds and not Junior Olympics.
Well, Junior Olympics has been going on longer than Junior Worlds. And
But they're both
I'm pretty sure
relatively new.
Junior Olympics is they're both relatively new, but they happen Junior Worlds usually happens on a odd year, and Junior Olympics happens on an even year. Why choose? Why are you trying to get rid of these meets when we already have so few left?
Because if you're going to do Junior Worlds and Junior Olympics, it needs to be a whole separate junior schedule. Because, like, what you're going to have Junior Worlds this year and Junior Olympics next year, like, that doesn't make any sense.
The last Junior Olympics, I literally Georgia
Was in
Veal
2002.
8 in 2022, but like who won? Who medaled? I can't think of it.
Manila? Was it Manila the Junior Olympic champion?
I think I would remember that. I don't remember that at all.
That's what's coming to my mind. Okay, let's ask Google.
I was gonna give it another moment to think, but we can Google. I remember 2023 Junior Worlds very clearly. That was a really good meet. Um, but 2022, I'm not convinced it happened because of COVID, but it could have happened and I just don't remember. Okay, I'll look it up.
Did it even happen?
I'm not convinced it did.
I see the Junior Pan
No,
Americans.
it didn't happen. That's why we don't remember it. But it's gonna
Okay.
happen next year allegedly. But I'm not even sure that there is a host country decided yet.
Okay, well, was Manila the Junior World Champion?
Manila? No, I never knew of her as a. I don't think she had a big junior career, but let me look. They didn't send her anywhere as a junior. She was just competing at all the Series A and Italian championships, Mediterranean championships, FIT Challenge, Elite Gym Massilia, that competition in France. No. I remember in 2022 when she made the world team because a lot of Italians were injured. People were like, who the fuck is this? At least the people I follow. And she really just like got better and better. It was crazy. I would have never expected the success that she has now.
When you remember when you said people were like, "Who the fuck is this?" I was one of the people like, "Who the fuck is this?" I was impressed and I was in love. So yeah, I'm happy for Manila and all of her sisters. And
Truly.
I also want to say with Manila is a great example of the new way of them doing gymnastics because I believe under older regimes, I don't think she would have. They would have called her too fat. The same thing they do with Jordan Charles and all these other things. They would have forced the eating disorder on that girl. They would have forced all that thing. No matter her beautiful form, her beautiful flexibility, all this other shit. Like they would have just been like, "You're too big." And she's not a big person. I'm not trying to say she's too big. I'm just saying that's what gymnastics would have told her. And it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing that that's no longer a thing. And
It
Jocelyn
definitely
Robertson,
is. That's not what I
Jocelyn
thought you
Robertson,
were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say that she is more of a execution girl as opposed to difficulty. And I love that for her too, but I also love that uh, the culture seems to be more supportive of gymnasts that look different and have different body types. And yes, she's not big. I guess she looks different compared to some of her teammates. She's very skinny objectively. I don't like to comment on anyone's body, but I
no.
just did. So
And I hope y'all understand what we're saying. I hope we're not getting ourselves in trouble. But what I'm trying to say, and I think Oscar is echoing my point, is just that under the old regime, they wanted the Claire P's body type. They wanted the little, short, frail, thin body type, and that's just not.
and they would justify it by we want you just like explicitly as skinny as possible so that you can do the tricks easier, so you can do the hard tricks, so you can be spotted by your coaches, so the judges, because that's what the judges like to see. Yeah, I mean, it's all like excuses. It goes hand in hand. It's
Oh,
kind of hard to like tell which was the chicken or the egg or whatever. Like, do they like you skinny because you get good lines, or do you like, is it the other way? Stuff like that.
and
It's
while
all
we're here,
just
let's
made.
talk about it. I think it wasn't even none of that. I think they wanted those girls to be frail, thin, to make them look like children. I think I don't think it was the whole excuse of all this other stuff because we see in this current era of things, the girls who have a slightly bigger build, a slightly more muscle mass, actually can do harder things. Um, so I can imagine, like in this era of gymnastics, the girls who actually you can tell now the girls who have great nutrition versus the girls who have maybe a little bit of an eating thing because they can't physically keep up anymore. Um, Whereas before, there was a baseline with that level with that perfect 10 shit that you only could do so much. So then why try a double double on floor when my double tuck was worth the same? So I think it was that they wanted those little girls to look like children. I think it was one of the things that we need to talk about more in the sport, especially on the women's side, but on the men's side too, is I don't want to say P factor, but the P factor in the gymnastics, the girls being so young looking, no matter what age they are, they still look. It's the white chicken poetry aesthetic that they wanted, and they thought anything else wasn't reamed of whiteness. Maybe that's it too, Sully. But my only not pushback to the whiteness issue is the Asians. And like, to me, when I look at like the 90s gymnastics and how the girls, not 90s, the 80s gymnastics and the 70s gymnastics, and how the girls was 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, but they looked so young, and then they would do things that purposely made themselves look younger, like wear pigtails and like do their hair in like these little kid like ways and have these bad choppy haircuts, right? And I just used to be like, what's up with all these damn 80s and 70s gymnasts with all these bad choppy haircuts? But then it hit me, is to make them look more childlike, because children just randomly cut their hair choppy, and it's to make them look more like little kids, in my personal opinion. So it's the they already is wearing like basically a bathing suit, and now we look at the sport, we look at the sport of gymnastics, but even look at the commentators of the late 80s, the early 80s, where it was all about how pretty she was and oh my God, she's such a pretty little girl. And they used to always harp on the youth and the aesthetic of youthness. And the second that a girl got 16, she was a grandpa, she was a grandma, and she was so old and being mature under those. Just listening to what they were saying, being mature was a bad thing. Having your sight, all that was bad, and being little, young, pretty, like it was very, the P word. It was very the P word.
Definitely. I agree that it was like a grooming culture and um definitely, I mean, P word.
Even the men's
That's an
side,
imperfect way to put it, but yeah.
even the men's side of the sports, I know yesteryear, like how we see all these male gymnasts now and how they're so strong. Like those gymnasts wasn't built like that. Like they were doing just the bare minimum on rings and stuff, so they could have a body, but it was still they wanted them to look like a little boy.
Hmm.
Think of all of even the Soviet male gymnasts, they weren't built the way uh Danielle Wittenberg or
But you don't think it's because they also were trying to make sure that they were flexible enough for certain things?
that's true too,
It could be
because
both.
they had to still be flexible enough to do compulsories. And
I don't know. I don't know. That was just what I thought of. And it wasn't like, oh, let's think of something else to negate, to say that what Michaela's saying it isn't true. Not to discredit that. It was just like, oh,
and
I also thought of this.
what you're saying is also because under the 10.0 system, there's only so many things you can do to get to a 10. So you won't have to do everything that you possibly can do, because I mean, why? When if I'm doing a triple twist and double back off of the reins,
Who
and
are some
Buddy's
of
doing a double.
the biggest guys today in gymnastics? Biggest muscles? You said done now. Who do you think of when you think of big muscles, Mag?
It's this Chinese guy who's really, really like, and maybe he did. Maybe I'm thinking a couple years ago, but like he was so good on damn rings. Like, oh God,
Yo How won 2 Olympic gold medals back to back, Tokyo and
maybe,
Paris.
that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
He's
Uh,
so petite though. in stature.
I know, but just like cocky, like I don't know how to explain it.
I think of like Steven Legendre and Jake Dalton also. Like, do you think those guys can do German Giants or Pommel Horse?
Not Paul. What's his name?
Well, they
Jake was.
do those the stoops, right? The stoop fall or whatever. What do they call it when they go the other way though? You know, all the men they now do it's like a talk fall, a talk half into their release moves. You know what I'm talking about?
Like the girls is called a jam in women's gymnastics.
Exactly. It's not an imbar, I don't think. It's or like the way we think of a wag imbar, it's a jam, I think. Thank you. But we're getting off point. I think that they definitely did. The coaches and the judges encouraged and responded positively to the younger look, even for the men as well.
Absolutely, absolutely,
And I think both ways it stems from, patriarchy, the men wanting just like it coming off of, I don't know what they want to see, their perversions or whatever. And the women were working the system, you know?
absolutely, absolutely. This is why it was so hard for, in my opinion, till Dominique Dawes came around for a lot of the black gymnasts to, even with Betty Okino, it wasn't until Dominique Dawes came around because Dominique Dawes, even up until after '96, still when they were always be like Dominique Dawes just have the right body, even though I love Dominique, but
And Dominique herself feels that she, no matter what she did, she never had the right body. Her being a black gymnast, her having, not perfect toe point or whatever, was going to always be a built in deduction.
and I think in America it was a built-in deduction because of her skin complexion, but internationally it wasn't because she still looked childlike. Like her and Shannon still look like little children, and
And
I
they
think
were very young, also. They were young children.
they were young. But if you looked at some of the other girls who were their same age, they were already entering puberty, where Shannon and Dominique weren't. And
Definitely. I just wanted to, if
and
Dominique is
Carrie
watching
started
this
to.
and was like, I was a young child, like, yeah, we know you were.
Oh yeah. I get what you're saying. Yes, but I think that the thing that Dominique had was, and even with Betty Okino, like when Betty Okino started maturing, her scores started dropping. Even though, in my opinion, she was doing the exact same stuff.
What
It's
year
just
would
she
you
no
would you
longer
say
had,
that was?
huh?
Which year would you say that was when her score started to drop because her body was changing naturally, which is a
Oh,
good thing.
definitely in '92 when she was always hurt. But she was getting taller. She started growing breasts. Like you could tell they physically had to tape her boobs down at the Olympics.
Right, and this is, I'm sure a lot of people know this, so it sounds like restating the obvious or the what's been said many times, but I think it's important to also remind people or tell people who don't know, like, it's well documented that the coaches were trying to prevent the start of puberty and to delay it as much as possible in a very unhealthy manner.
And if you think about it, the excuse was puberty caused them to gain weight. That was the excuse, at least that they used for a long time. But in my opinion, is I'm not saying that wasn't part of it, but even bigger part of it is puberty no longer allowed them to be children. And then sometimes you could have been Svetlana Horkina, Svetlana Boganskaya, where, you know, you kind of played on it. Yeah, I'm getting grown, so I'm gonna at 17 go do Playboy because I'm a
But
17-year-old grown up in gymnastics.
meanwhile, you're fighting for your life to get your spot on the team.
Correct. And even then, Horkina. Oh, I wish Shayna was here because I know she's a Horkina expert. But I don't know nothing else about Shayna. That woman loves LSU, and that woman loves Svetlana Horkina, baby. But like even with Svetlana Horkina, like the older that they got, her narrative was look how sexy she is, and look how much of a diva she is, and like compare her to like Paris Hilton, basically. Like it was very, 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 very strange.
Very strange. Do you see any examples of the stuff we're talking about even today with the current crop of US gymnasts? I mean, a lot of this has to do with or I feel like our reference points of what we're talking about has to do with or is informed by the commentary we received also, right? We have different
Yes,
commentators now.
I will say yes, but not in elite gymnastics and NCAA gymnastics. A lot of the schools very so hard try to not. I wouldn't say try to like put weight requirements on their athletes so they won't get to puberty because they're in college. So clearly they should be in. They should pubertize already. But just the way a lot of them behave, wear their hair, it seems like they
Well, let's
play
stick
on.
to elite at least for the beginning, since we're just talking about elite in the past.
But NCAA is just my prime example of what you're talking about.
I know that's why you brought it up first. It's not a bad example, just for continuation's sake, continue whatever. Like since we were just talking about elite this whole time.
I feel like a lot of the elite gymnasts are trying, and maybe it's not even a subconscious thing. Is in elite gymnastics now, it almost is a read to be looked at as little and oh, all you can do is leaps and jumps, girl. That ain't shit. Like whereas in the past, oh my god, her leaps and her jumps are so perfect. Oh, so what? She can't do a double back. Nobody gives a damn. Whereas now it's like, what do you mean you can't do a double layout on floor, bitch? Why are you in this floor final, bitch? Go sit your ass down somewhere. Nobody gives a damn about them damn turns and jumps and shit.
So,
So
what do you make of USA Gymnastics and especially their social media? I feel like their favorite gymnast to promote right now is not a powerful gymnast. I would say it's Nola Matthews. Would you agree?
I believe going into this season, Nola had the biggest name, but I don't believe she had the best results. I think they're shifting their focus from Nola to like a Ashley to like a Claire, definitely to Jayla. Um,
Does it feel ever I'm about to go I mean I'm already calling Nola out, so I'm giving her a rough time, sorry. I'm a fan. Um, do you feel like they treat her the same way they treat other gymnasts? I feel like they literally just like they're more supportive of her than they are to so many other gymnasts, especially when she doesn't necessarily come through. They give her support that they wouldn't give. They would just kind of like ignore other ones.
I feel like gymnastics is a part of that because gymnastics I like Nola so much. that Nola is just a name that people just know. So because this group of girls is a group of unknown names to the gymnastics community, I feel like Nola just is getting the attention just because people know who she is. I don't feel like it's going to, like when she goes to this World Cup in Doha and coming like fifth place on floor and like fourth place on uneven bars.
It's Varna, I think, but I don't know where Varna is. Is that like Hungary? I'm not sure.
Oh, it's Verna of
But I think that's a great point that gymnastic is part of it, and also part of I'm remembering now, part of why she gets a lot of attention and praise is from USAG as well. Is I feel like people really like uh to encourage how encouraging and supportive she is allegedly to her teammates
mhm,
with their gymnastics. So it sounds like maybe I'm calling out a good thing, but I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
cause like for example, when me and Addis used to have our show together, we used to highlight. Oh gosh, Khalees Woodford a lot, right? We just used to like her.
Yes.
There was like
What's not to like?
exactly, but because we used to highlight her so much, other bigger because we put her name out there into the thing, and people began to know who she was, right?
Yeah,
So like even at Winter Cup, Khalees was one of the people that they were talking about because people knew who
I saw
Khalees
that.
was. They
But
didn't
also
expect.
people being like, whoa, who is this gymnast with this huge Jaeger? Like, where did she come from? It's so funny how people just like, yeah. Sometimes my brain like assumes that everyone's on the same page or is closer to the same page, but it's just like you've been talking about her for years. What do you mean? But then there are people I've been telling you about for years that you're like a year from now you're like Claire Pease. Like, where did she come from?
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. And people just like who they like, and I just think right now with Nola, she's just one of those names that people like. Like I don't think she has, for me personally, is her gymnastics like my favorite gymnastics to watch? No. Um,
But it's just so clearly the support and encouragement she's getting from USAG. Not talking about her fans. Like fans like who they like. I want fans to like who they like, regardless of what anyone else is doing or saying. Have your opinions. It's good to have opinions. Have you make your own. But it's definitely doesn't. There's no correlation between the amount of like she like I feel like she gets like a spotlight sometimes that other gymnasts just do not, and there's no correlation with that, the amount of attention they give her and the results she's received. Or
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. I just think it's just a she's just the name that people know, and that's just the only hat that they know where to lay their head on. Now, like they're hoping Claire stops falling short of her double double on floor. They're hoping Jayla do some good shit, but they just Jayla and Claire just be there sometimes. Like so,
the girls are shook that I don't know. I feel like Tiana has so many fans, like strong fans on Twitter at least. Like everyone was like, "Oh, she's gonna win Winter Cup." Oh, Tiana's late to register. She's still gonna win Winter Cup. Oh, Tiana withdrew from Winter Cup. She's not ready, but also like, what are her coaches doing? Um, Tiana does a full twisting Yurchenko at this selection camp. She should make the team because she's gonna win Jeslo. Tiana should have gone to the Olympics. Tiana was robbed from the Jeslo spot. And I'm just like, what is the story? Like, maybe she's not even trying to make these teams, you know? I don't know what her strategy is, especially since she hasn't really given us
I
much
think she was
info.
trying
I think there's no reason for me to assume she wasn't trying, right? Doing all the events. But it's also her first all around of her first regular meet of the
because I
season.
think if she wasn't trying, she would have did like Hesley did and would have just said from the get go, like,
I'm not
that
trying to get any assignments, right?
I'm just trying to get competition experience for the year. I think
Some
that
scores, try out these new routines.
mhm. I think that would have been the message Tiana would have sent if that was a T. But
I just wanted to perform for my grandma one time before she dies. My new floor routine. Who knows what the story is, but there's no reason to think she wasn't trying. And the girls are just like, I don't know, the Tiana delusion is so
honestly,
real.
Anna, if I'm just being honest, I wouldn't be surprised if she dropped down to level 10 before the end of this season.
I would be surprised because I feel like she has big aspirations. I feel like
I
she
don't. I
was.
feel like she's ready to go to UCLA tomorrow. Like I,
Why do you
I,
feel that way? Like, I feel like she was like living for having all these good teammates at WCC, and
I
she was
feel
like,
like when WCC fell apart, the Landys went away. Jocelyn is in college. Jordan's in college.
I mean, they've temporarily fallen apart. We can't, it's not fair for us to say they've fallen apart for good. They could get it back together somewhat. I don't think they'll reach the same level, but
I just don't.
it's early in the season.
It's early in the season. I just feel like for Tiana, I just don't. I don't think this these people Simone hire is a good choice for Tiana. Uh, I just wouldn't be surprised if she didn't drop down to level 10 and just started preparing her routines for UCLA next season.
I wouldn't be mad because like she should do what she wants to do, and I'm not dying for her to make any teams. As a gymnastics fan, I have other
Actually, Nisha,
favorites.
Tiana is not all along at WCC. She just been surpassed by her teammate Dulcie Taylor, who is probably the best WCC girl right now.
Who?
Dulcie Taylor.
Dulcie Kaler. I think Dulcie Kaler came last at Winter Cup, but anyways, I like
She didn't
Risa
come last
Sponda.
year.
Risa Sponda. She's coming back from an injury.
She didn't come last year.
Dulcie Kaler is. I'm a fan of her character. You know, she never thought she could be this good. She works hard every day, according to her coaches. Her routines are not my favorite. I have other favorites. We all have favorites. It's not a diss to her.
I like her routines more than I like Tiana's at this point.
I haven't seen Tiana's routines. I just saw her vault.
Tiana did all four events, child.
People were
All
really
four.
crashing out over Tiana's routine. Tiana's floor is my favorite event, and it always has been.
She watered down her floor routine a lot.
Was she like? I'm not shocked because you know she only threw in the up. I'd be shocked if it. She better have kept in the. I'm expecting it to be double layout, double tuck, 1.5 front full, double pike. Or maybe she even watered it down to just a front full. She took out the 1.5. But
To be
I
honest,
would be shocked if she had the Chuso or the double double or
no.
whatever.
She did do the double layout as her first tonal pass. She did a double tuck as her second tonal pass. I don't know what the hell she did as her third tonal pass. I think she just did a 1.5 front layout.
Well, she
And I
hasn't
think
competed in Olympic trials.
I
She's
think she just did a back layout dismount. I don't think she did a double pike.
Good. We don't need any injuries at this selection camp, but also like it is a selection camp. Like, do you want an assignment or not? Meanwhile, like all the girls who got assignments basically already have had assignments this year, except for like Zoe Malomo, right? And Tatum Drush, she's going to Jeslo. Congratulations.
I don't think Dulcie has an assignment this year, and I think Dulcie's going to Jesselo.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But like all the girls who have had assignments already this year, none of them didn't make it again, right? Nola got an assignment. Simone Rose got an assignment. Jayla got an assignment. Ashley got an assignment. And Claire got an assignment.
Can I ask you this question? Because I don't know, for real. What is the format of Jesselo? Like, is it just everybody does everything? Is it 5 up, 4 count? Is it
I'm really sorry. I wish I knew. I don't know.
anybody in the comments know the format of Jesselo? Because I want to do what do you think the team lineups will be. It's just I don't know how to do team lineups because I don't know the format of the competition. I think it's going to be 6 people on the team, 5 up on an event, 4 scores count. That seems like it what it always is.
That would be my first guess. But then part of me is like, I think maybe it could just be 3 scores count on each event. Uh, I wish I knew. How does one even find out these things?
Mm.
Because that would be fun. I could give you my lineups right now.
Wow. Subby said they don't watch Just Flow. It's too boring. Okay, let's just assume. Because let's just assume it's going to be 6 people on the team. They name 6 people onto the team. 5 people per event, 4 scores count. That's just what it seems like to me. That makes the most sense.
Wait, do you want me to look for the last Jessela results?
Sure, because I don't think the Americans sent a team to Just Flow in a while.
Oh, well, do you want me to look for 2022 Jessela or 2024?
I don't think it's. think they sent like an individual to 2024. It might have been Jayla Hang actually.
I'm looking at 2024 Jesselo. The team. Okay, yeah, they definitely counted 3 routines on each event. Italy had an A team, and their A team won the gold, and their B team came in 6th place. So it seems like maybe they could sweep the podium this year. Fuck the Romanians, fuck the Brazilians, and fuck the Americans for certain. Brazil came in 2nd, and Rebecca was there with Flavia and Julia Suarez and Carolyn Pedro and Andrea Lima.
Oh, so they really sent a good
And
team.
Jaje Barbosa. They sent their Olympic team to Jesolo, and they still got beat by Italy, just like they did at the Olympics. The Italians sent their Olympic team, except instead of. Is this their Olympic team? They have Asia on the team. So who was there instead of Asia? Georgia Vila, for whatever reason. United States last year sent Dulcie Kaler, Caitlin Jong, Evelyn Lowe, Hesley Rivera, and Tiana Sumana Sekera.
As
Canada
a
A
team,
team. Yeah, that's what it's saying. I don't remember that either, but it must have just been
I don't
lackluster.
remember
It
that
must
at
have just
all.
been lackluster, Michaela.
I don't remember that at all. Like at all. Did they place?
in third place.
Shit, I'm shocked that they came that high. Did they send a team in 2003? Maybe that was the year they didn't send a team.
You need to
Oh,
learn
maybe
this
they
name.
didn't. They're-
Michaela, you need to learn this name. You've definitely seen her routines, if not on Twitter, because she has fans. But I also post her routines on my YouTube, Gymnastics Saves Lives. Julia Perotti with a G. Like Julia Steingruber. Julia
Okay.
Perotti. She is one to watch for certain. And I'd be shocked if she's not at Jessela. She won the junior all around last year. She beat Claire Pease and Tyler Turner. Um and Leah Monica Fontaine with the Chung from
But
Canada
wait,
and Lavi Crane.
but wait, we're but I so it's just three up, three count?
No, I'm sure they have more than three routines up, but it looks like they only counted three routines because they're all of their totals are like, 38 points to 43 points, somewhere in there.
So
Let's look at if I can find 2023.
maybe it's four people per event, three scores count?
I mean, for all we know, one of them is just an alternate, right?
One of them would be an alternate, you're right. So it would be a five-person team.
Oh, Jesselo 2023 was so crazy. Wait, get into this. Italy won again with a 164.934. You'll never guess who came in second place with a. So Italy had 164.934. Second place was one with a 154.834, 10.1 points behind.
Canada?
Canada's A team came in fourth place.
Ooh, okay.
I would have never predicted this. Is South Korea.
South Korea.
I love that for them. Sorry, and then Spain came in third place. Canada A team was in fourth, and Japan was in fifth with some names I've never heard of. And Canada had a B team that came in sixth.
And that's the year the Americans did send the team.
Yeah, it looks like they were because in 2024 there were 9 teams versus 6 in 2023.
I know what happened in 2023. They started the DTB thing in Germany, and the Americans chose to send a team to Germany instead of Jesselo. And the Italians was mad. Like, how dare you send a team to the damn new German shit over us, bitch? Send a team to both. Fuck
Send a
y'all.
team to both. I'm not even convinced that DTB started in 2023 though. In
I don't think it started
2022,
in 2023, but I know the Americans started
they started
sending
to
people.
overlap or something, or I don't know.
I think so because
Mitch, 2022 Jess Lowe was really fierce. This is like the last one I really remember the details of. And I'm getting even more details as I'm looking at it. Connor won the all around. Asia D'Amato won silver. Martina Maggio won bronze. Shilese came in fourth. They had MJ Frazier in sixth. Zoe Miller was seventh in the all around. Manila was 10th. This was a crazy time. Anna Barbosu was 14th. Ellie Black was 15th with a 49. And
oh
then the
wow,
team, there were a lot of great gymnasts, but like everyone was at such a weird place in their career, you know? Um, the team, let's just confirm Zoe Miller won the bars gold with a 14.45. Shilese came in second. Georgia Vila won bronze. Um, Connor won
so
beam
yeah,
and
I guess that's
floor,
the last
and
one
there
I
were
really.
6 teams. And the United States easily beat Italy and Canada, and then Romania, then Belgium, and France. France was
That's the
last.
last one I really remember because everybody was so gagged that Zoe beat Charlize on bars, and they was like, "Oh my god!"
And then the junior all around results. America swept. They took the top five spots. We'll go backwards. Fifth place, Ella Murphy, a future boomer. Fourth place, Zoe Malomo. Third place, Miley Lou. Second place, Mad Ray Johnson. And the winner of the all around final was Tiana
Oh no!
Sumanasekara. Just to jog your memory.
And Tiana reminds me of Morgan White from her quad.
But she's so much more powerful than Morgan White.
She is, but they got the exact same super successful junior career to no tea, no shade to be watched by the current seniors who was already around once they turned senior. So
Morgan White made an Olympic team.
she did.
You know I'm not a Morgan White stan, but Tiana wishes she could say that for herself.
Don't do that.
So should we try to do lineups, or is there more something else you want to talk about, or
Let's
should
do
we end the
lineup.
show prematurely? How are we
Let's
feeling?
line.
1 hour and 16-minute check-in.
Yeah, because the people who were supposed to talk about the NCAA abandoned us. I think Shayna literally fell asleep. Like I think I think that's what happened to Shayna. I think we were talking and Shayna was here for the pre-show because we had a 45-minute pre-show and
She said
Shayna was
she's
here.
exhausted. She said she just moved, right? I didn't even know that she
Yeah,
moved.
I know she was moving. She just got a new job. I think she's still working both her jobs. So yeah,
And
Shayna.
she's is she in school? No, she graduated.
No, she's in school.
Oh, she didn't graduate. Okay. She's
No, but
busy. She's grinding. She's hustling.
so yeah, I think she literally just fell asleep. So
Do you think she
um,
was muted? Do you think we would hear her if she was snoring?
no.
Do you think she's on her back and her dog is licking her face? She has this small little cute lap dog that she loves. Okay, where should we go from
Let's do
here?
lineups, and then I can still briefly talk about college gymnastics. Like I can't go in depth like them, but I do have
Let's just
opinions.
talk about like whatever random things we feel like talking about. It doesn't have to make sense.
Yes.
Because I have some random things, really random things, super unconnected.
So, can you name the team for me again? Because I don't. I know at least 5 people on the team, but like I'm gonna get lost on like the last person. So I think it's Ashley Sullivan, Claire Pease, Simone Rose, Zoe Malomo.
I wish we had a way, like a, didn't there used to be some type of resource where you could see the rosters for all of the team, all the countries that are saying that they're gonna go, to a meet?
I think it was the balance beam situation.
Maybe. I thought that the Gym Tune-Net used to do it. I mean, the Gym Tune-Net does a great job with a lot of things, but I wish that they would also do this before the meets begin. I don't know how to navigate the balance beam situation. We need Shayna or Anisha. Okay, but the USA, I think you had all the names you said were correct, but you only said 5, you were saying?
Um,
Or were you able
Levy,
to name all 6? I didn't really hear them all.
was Levy Crane on there?
Lavi is a junior. She's on the team.
Oh,
Should I just name them or do you like guessing them? I'm
no,
happy
go
to
ahead
wait
and
while you
name them.
get.
'Cause I'm not going to name them all because I don't know these. So it's just never going to happen.
I'll just go over the international assignments that USAG gave because they gave three, and we've kind of mentioned them, but we'll start with Jesselo. That's the biggest one. April 12th through 13th. The senior team is Dulcie Kaler, Tatum Drush, Zoe Malomo, Claire Pease, Simone Rose, and Ashley Sullivan. Quickly, the juniors are Charlie Bullock, Labby Crane, Addie Fulcher, Caroline Moreau, Kylie Smith, and Adelie Van Grinsven. Then Varna World Challenge Cup takes place after May 8th through 11th. They're only sending Nola Matthews to that. And that was out of order. Prior to both, first is going to be Osijek World Cup, and they're sending Jayla Hang to that. That's April 10th through 13th, so 2 days from now.
So basically, also check should start Friday,
Osijek
Thursday,
today is Tuesday, so it's going to start Thursday.
and then Jesselo should start Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So lots and lots and lots of elite gymnastics to fill the hole in the void.
Right, because like I didn't even know, I had to ask Michaela. It feels like with how my timeline is flooded with NCAA, it feels like there's NCAA every day for like however many like weeks now. Of course, that's not the case, she told me, but that's how it seems to me as someone who doesn't pay close attention, but follows a lot of gymnastics people on Twitter. Um, so apparently there's no more NCAA until the 17th. We have like 9 days of no NCAA.
Absolutely. We have
Thank
no
you,
NCAA.
God.
Wow. And then the season is almost over with, and then we're done with NCAA until next year. Um, I do want to sit up here and say that I feel like with these regionals, I'm glad I really paid attention to it the way I have, because now I have a better understanding of what regionals are. And I will, because I just watched Gymnastics, and I will 100% agree with Jessica. Like, why does this happen in the span of 3 days? Like, why doesn't this happen over 2 weeks? Like, it would just be much more exciting, much more easier to watch each
It would be
individual
so much easier to watch. I probably would have watched way more if it had been spread out.
um each individual competition would be more meaningful because you would have somebody getting eliminated, then you would have the teams going back to the lab and fixing mistakes. Then in a couple of days they would come out and try again. Like, it would just be so much better if it was just maybe not 2 weeks, maybe that's a little bit too long, but maybe at least a week, 7 full days, or because it's the play. No, I'm so sorry. 2 weeks is perfect because it's a playoff. It's literally the gymnastics playoffs. Like, it
Two
shouldn't be.
weeks and we push everything back, or 2 weeks and we get rid of like one of the weeks of regular season, or what?
Hell, to be honest, y'all can get rid of conference championship because it doesn't mean shit. So get rid of conference championship. Just like whatever the results are at the end of regular season, let them be the. If you won all your meets in your conference, you're the conference champion. Give us a bye week of no gymnastics. Then do like 2 to 3 weeks actually of the damn playoffs. Stop calling it conference. No, what it is, regionals, and call it the gymnastics playoffs. What it really is.
Do you know, I finally, another thing I'm really behind with is Michaela's shows, the ones she done without me. So I finally, I'd already seen this one, but I decided to rewatch them all because I like to be thorough with everything gymnastics. If I'm gonna commit, I'm gonna do it all and pay it as much attention as I can. Of course, doesn't always work out that way. So I finally feel like I understood what you were talking about like a month ago, where you were like, what Jordan Weber was saying, Arkansas, it was unfair that they didn't get to count another score, even though they weren't going to compete at SEC championships, conference championships, because I could put that better, but I think you know what I'm talking about in general. Um, I was wondering, there must be other teams though in different conferences who didn't qualify to their conference championships who still got to compete and count scores, right? Or is SEC the only conference championships in the country where not every team that's in the conference makes it to their championships?
That's it.
That's so crazy. Why would they even think that was like a good idea?
And see, the issue is, I don't mind that being the issue if it was like that in other conferences. And that's where I agree with what Jordan Weber was saying. It's not like I feel like they should have competed in the SEC championships, no. But
So was
Oregon State doesn't have a conference either, so why not just let them compete there if they wanted to and they was willing to pay for it, so they could have one last
but I thought
qualifying.
Oregon State did compete there.
They did. I'm just saying, why not let? I'm so sorry.
Arizona,
Arkansas
Arkansas.
compete. Yeah, why not let Arkansas compete there just so they could get one final score to help their NQS like everybody else did?
And so the reason Nisha was saying that Jordan was like a little bitch and like she was crying wolf because she waited until they knew they weren't going to make SEC championships to complain about it when she had the whole regular season to say something.
Absolutely, because everybody, like myself, thought it was going to be Georgia who was going to be eliminated. Nobody expected it to be Arkansas.
Chaotic bitch. Nisha, would you know the answer? I've been asking people. Do we have a regular season championship winning team? That's not the best way to put it, not the most concise. But is
I think,
LSU the regular season champions?
yeah, because they won the conference. Or you mean from all of the schools? Is there a regular
Isn't that
season?
a thing? Like I thought I see people saying like so and so is the regular season champions. Maybe it's not. I mean, you can tell how clueless I am by the way I phrase my question. Don't know.
I'm not sure.
But at least I'm sometimes curious.
um, so regionals. What I want to
Oh,
talk
they
about.
shared the title. Did you see that?
Oh, okay. I have no clue. See, yeah. But I do want to say this. I will say that the SEC is clearly the best college division in college gymnastics. Watching those schools versus the other schools, it's like, oh wow, like
What
yeah,
is up with you and your SEC pride? When did you become so prideful of the SEC?
they just are. It's not that I'm prideful in the SEC. It's just
Yes,
they're
you
just the
are.
best division. Like it is just like not even close. Like even UCLA at their best. I mean, I think they'll have a hard time beating Kentucky most days. Like I don't even have to put like yeah. Arkansas almost gave them some issues. Like the SEC is just it's they're-
Where did
I
you
don't know
come
if
up with that criteria, Nisha? It sounds kind of
I
kind
don't.
of made
And
up.
the weird part is that I can't figure out why. It's like it's not
Why
like
is
the
the
SEC
SEC
have
the
the best
best?
coaches, or maybe the SEC schools are just the richer schools. That's
Maybe it's
not true.
wealth, maybe it's TV coverage, maybe it's
Maybe it's
history and tradition of the programs. Maybe it's just like they have more competition. So, iron sharpens iron. You have great singular teams in other conferences, but not the quantity isn't really the same anywhere else, right?
like that Big Ten conference is pretty stacked too. It's just none of those teams are, other than Michigan State and UCLA, are at that same level to me. Whereas with that conference and they having a lot of teams too, it's only two teams that are like at that level. Whereas like the SEC, it's like literally they have five teams out of the eight teams going to the conference championships. Like I mean to the championship. Like
That's suspicious.
how is that suspicious?
Hmm. That should be looked into. I feel like there's someone is like putting money in someone's pockets.
Yes, college gymnastics, everybody is putting money in everybody's pocket. That's what they do.
But like, is the SEC like a corporation? Like, is it its own business, or like is it just like a little mini
Oh,
economy?
okay, I can help you with this. So, because I got a better understanding of it myself. So each of the conferences are basically television networks. So yeah, that's how you have to look at the conferences as television networks, and because those are basically the football packaging. So the reason why all of the schools are in the SEC is because that's the television package that each school has put up, like signed together. So they all agreed to go to face each other during the season so they could air on the same television network. So they're just basically TV deals.
And the SEC must be so evil, so dark-sided, like if you think about it, the stuff that goes on there behind closed doors, the deals that are made.
I mean, I would say for every school, it's the same thing.
But like anywhere where there's that much success, but people aren't being paid what they deserve, and there's that much greed, it's just like I smell such BS. You
Well,
should
I
you
mean,
should apply to work at the SEC. You'd be such a good employee there.
hey, maybe. But I think where I live at, I actually would work for the ACC, and there's no gymnastics. Well, Clemson
Just
and
because
them.
of geography?
Yeah, because in Tallahassee, all of the schools are in the ACC, not the SEC, for
Go
whatever
get
reason.
get you a Gainesville zip code. I don't know, work remote.
Even as far as even in Miami, the schools down there are part of the ACC too. I don't know why Gainesville is in the SEC and everybody else in Florida is in the ACC. Like,
Because that's where the money resides.
period.
We named the team. Where did we just give up on just low lineups? I mean, it doesn't
Oh
have
yeah,
to
we have
happen
to check.
tonight. It doesn't have to happen tonight.
No, I want to talk about it. Just a little lineup. Okay. So I don't know who this Tatum Tannen is. I have no nope.
Don't disrespect her. You talked about her before. Tatum Drush. She's a
Oh,
solid all-arounder. I made sure to talk about her in Winter Cup. Remember, I have my detailed notes that
mhm.
you were so bored by, and
I was
she
not
does
bored.
she does a unique skill on beam. She does the one that like I don't think it's been named yet, but there are a few different gymnasts from different countries competing it. But it might be named for all I know. It's like the full turning split leap, but you start sideways on the beam. And then she also does in her routine the full turning straddle jump from sideways, which I don't think is named
Oh,
either. The
I think the
crazy
full turning straddle jump just recently got named at one of these World Cups. I'm not sure.
Tatum. She's a good competitor. She just like she doesn't really have a standout event and she lacks difficulty if she wants to be competitive internationally. or domestically. But she made this team. I don't think it was interesting going by I looked at the results really quickly just to see if anyone got passed over because I was like, why the fuck is Alicia Rosa not on this team? She looked great at Winter Cup. I guess she had a flop meet. And no one really got passed over in terms of results from this competition. They
Yeah,
just
no, they basically
they went
went
1
by.
through 10 or whatever. 1 through
Yeah, they
8.
basically went by the result. And but I don't have a strong enough connection to these girls to know if that's right or not. But I mean, okay, I don't feel bad going by the results,
But you know what we
especially.
could look at? We could look at sorry to speak over you. I just wanted to get this out. Um, I'm always speaking over Michaela. I'm sorry. But did the individual girls, why did Jayla came third in the all around? She gets the individual assignment to Osijek. And Nola, she was ahead of Zoe Malomo and Tatum Drush, but she gets the individual also. Any rhyme or reason to that, do you think?
I think because Jayla, they're thinking of the bigger picture with Jayla. In my opinion, they see Jayla as their top all around girl. In my opinion, even though she's not having the best results yet, so they're trying to get her to compete against these international girlies. Where I think the other girlies, they're trying to get them to get used to competing together as a group, as a team. I feel like so
Plus,
sorry,
it's also
Tatum.
less pressure to compete as a team, right?
Correct. And with Nola going to that third World Cup, traditionally it's a lesser World Cup. It's a C tier,
Definitely.
B tier World Cup. So Nola should be able to do very well there. So
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to expect from her. She used to be a bar specialist. Now floor is her best
ours is
event.
probably her worst event now. Is now she's focused heavy on beam and floor, Nola.
Yeah, it seems like skills that she used to be able to do pretty easily. They're a lot harder for her to do now, perform.
Yeah, Nola used to do endo skills on bars, I would think. Or am I making that
Well,
up?
I think she did, and she had an endo at Winter Cup also. But she used to have a downy, and she used to connect her downy or her rich nut into the pack. That went away.
She's getting ready for UCLA and that damn Maloney Pat Barber team.
Look at me jumping all over the place. I
Okay,
can't
so
do one thing to save my life. But you know what I'd like to do, if not right now, later before we log off? I just want to read the translated bootleg translation of the Russian statement about the World Cups.
go ahead, do that now.
Do it now? Okay. Do you know the Russian girl? She's like really coming in now and people are starting to pay attention to her, even though she's been competing for a while. Anna Kalmikova.
The name sounds familiar. Is she the one with the really interesting uneven bar routine?
She has a good bars routine. I don't know how interesting it is, and it used to be her worst event, but now she always scores well on it. I think the best Russian bars routine is Ludmila Roshina. She
Is
had
she
like a
the one with
6-7 last year. She does like uh Downey Pack Chow Ginger. She has M-bars. I think she does M-bar. You know what she does? She does M-bar full, comb over 2, downy, pack, chow, ginger.
Yes, that's a good. That's yes. That's the one I think I'm thinking of. The one they call her baby Aaliyah Mustafina.
I didn't know about that. Do you think I'm reading this right? That Zoe Malomo got a 14.5 for her DTY?
She did.
That's just so unserious if that's
You know how I know that?
right.
Because I was watching regionals and then they was on the long commercial and Addis was talking. So I said, hey, let me go to Flip Now. And as soon as I turned on Flip Now, that's the only routine that I saw happen live. And I'm like, 14.5, what happened? So then I'm like thinking she did an almond arm because I'm like, 14.5, how the hell you get that high score doing what the fuck did she do? So then they played the repair and they show her DTY. And I'm like, oh. I mean, it was a good DTY. Was it 14.5 worthy? No. But it was
No.
better than everybody else's there.
Okay. This is one of I've seen different translations posted by different people, but this is one that I have by someone who usually is credible. Their translation says all Russian athletes representing artistic and rhythmic gymnastics who received neutral status decided as if they are autonomous in their decision making, decided to refrain from participating in the upcoming competitions under the auspice a word I don't know how to pronounce. Auspices AUSPICES of the International the FIG. Did anyone could you understand that the way I said that? Should I read that again? Because I
Yeah.
struggled. All Russian athletes representing artistic and rhythmic gymnastics who received neutral status decided to refrain from participating in the upcoming competitions under the auspices of the FIG. I guess that's under the restrictions of the FIG. That's my guess. Auspices. A divine. Oh, goodness. I don't know. It might just be a translation thing. The reason for
I
this
think it's a
decision.
translation error. I think they're trying to say that the restrictions of the FIG or something to that effect.
That would make sense to me. The reason for this decision is the numerous unfounded and biased refusals of the FIG Special Committee to allow our gymnasts to compete. The Russian Gymnastics Federation respects and shares the position of the athletes. That's crazy. They're saying that the athletes made this decision and the federation was like, okay, we're cool with that. Imagine that happening anywhere.
Lies. They need to stop. Stop lying.
President of the Russian Gymnastics Federation, Oleg Belozerev, never heard his name, says, quote, I respect the athlete's decision and understand what it is dictated by. At our meeting on March 10th, Mr. Watanabe, the head of the FIG, I guess, said that, quote, he would like to use all his strength to think again about the role of sport in this world. Sport should unite and give friendship. It should not be an instrument for increasing hatred. The rights of each person must be respected, and we as a federation must respect and protect them. Therefore, we support the participation of Russian athletes at the international level in a neutral status. End quote. Unfortunately, the decisions of the FIG Special Committee that we received, so this is the head of the Russian Federation talking still. Unfortunately, the decisions of the FIG Special Committee that we received on March 28th, 2025 demonstrate that the Lord's word was not heard in it by Watanabe. The Russian capital L, the Russian Gymnastics Federation, together with the Russian Olympic Committee and the Russian Ministry of Sport, will continue to support its athletes and protect their interests. Of course. We will seek a revision of the rules according to which the FIG Special Committee makes discriminatory decisions. I hope that our position will be heard at the next FIG Executive Committee, which will meet in early May in Malta. So that didn't even have everything that I saw, because that didn't explicitly say that they're not going to, that they're withdrawing their athletes, but I read that somewhere else. But Angelina posts, I'm quote, I'm saving myself. I've been on edge all day today. My intuition never lets me down. As a result, there's a lot of unpleasant news and a clean slate before our eyes again. And there were photos of her at this conference where they were talking about it. It seems pretty clear that yeah. It seems like they're like basically like we want it our way, or we're not gonna we are not going to, what's the word? Not negotiate, but we're not going to
It's gonna be
compromise.
their way or the
Compromise.
highway.
No compromise. It's our way. It's everything or nothing.
And what they want is
Because they
for
see Mr. Watanabe is giving them an inch of movement after so long it being so no, no, no. Now they're like, oh, now you want us back? Okay. We have some leverage. Or at least that's what that's my reading of it.
that's the only way to read it, and that's the way the Russians always play these damn stupid games. And I'm so sorry, Melnikova. You might as well retire, baby, because it ain't gonna happen. The
Yeah.
had two Olympics. Listen over. See you later, girl. It ain't gonna happen. Um,
It's crazy. Like she's not even like, I don't know, like why do I feel like Angelina, like her gymnastics is not even like her talent is not crazy. Like she is talented in the way that all of these gymnasts who compete internationally are extremely talented. But like for other Russian wags, for medalists at world and Olympic level competitions, like I think she's done really well. I
Angelina,
can't see it for her to come back and win based off of her routines. It would really just be because she's become a strong competitor and found consistency, things like that.
for me, with Angelina, her thing is that from a young age, she could do so many tricks. And as the years progressed, she never really lost any of her tricks. That's why she's able to hold on. It's like,
Yeah, I would agree for sure.
who's a good example of what I'm trying to say?
But if you take out the in bars, she's not doing anything that like the American girls can't do.
No, but you can't say if you can take out the in bars because the in bars is part of her like success, especially on uneven bars. It's like
Like she's
all
def Ashley Sullivan would be where she is if she had in bars.
imagine if Hesley had in bars. Imagine if Tiana had in bars. Imagine if
That's why I think I wouldn't be shocked if Claire Pease is like the world all-around champion this year. She can put up decent scores on every event. And that's really like the recipe. Like I don't think the world champion is gonna have a one event that is a big weakness, you know? It rarely happens that way. It's hard to overcome.
and the thing with Claire that she has over a lot of the other Americans is, as she proves, she can literally win a medal on any event. I don't think maybe Jayla. I don't think any
Maybe
other
Jayla. I mean, Ashley Sullivan is not winning a medal on bars.
or Vol.
Or vault. That's crazy that Claire can win a vault medal also. That just makes her so much more desirable if you're picking a team.
So yeah, that's
But
just
can Claire beat Jordan Childs?
and see, and that's the hard part with this group of girls that for all of the impressed that I am for each last one of them, if the NCAA girls come, Jordan, Lee, and Jade said she's not coming back, but hell, she might. I just don't. It,
Now that Cal didn't make it to nationals or whatever, MJ Frazier might just come back.
it's just you never know, and it's just like as beautiful as Claire's vault is. I don't think if Leanne and Jordan both try, I don't think either one of them. I think they both would make vault finals over her. I think um, Sky Blakely has two vaults. I mean, having two vaults as an American, it used to be a golden ticket. Now, like a lot of people have two vaults.
Do you think Zoe Maloma could beat Claire in a vault final?
Zoe doesn't have a strong enough second vault unless she's going to start doing a Rudy out of nowhere.
Right, no, I meant with her current vaults, but I think she has the better DTY.
Yeah, but that pipe front half ain't going to do nothing against a Lopez.
Right, it's like a 3.8 or something, right? But Claire
And
did get credited with the Podka Paeva 4.2.
which I find that very strange. Like I think Claire did a good Lopez. Like I don't. It was clearly more of a Lopez than Jayla. Like Jayla definitely was doing a Poker by Abraham.
Can we can we do a really it's gonna take like a minute, if that. Let's just do a recap for everyone, including myself, of the World Cups that have taken place this season so far
Sure.
and which Americans were there. Can you do it, or do we need help from the gym tonight?
We're just talking about the women.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Of
Okay,
course.
there was three World Cups that's happened so far. There was Cadiz, there was Doha, and there was um Italia. Italia.
Doha is happening on the 16th. Doha
Uh,
has not happened yet. But
it
this
was
was the first one. Do you remember who went to Coppus?
a lot of Chinese gymnasts.
What did an American go? I don't think so.
All of the Americans went to Winter Cup.
And Coppus was like
The
Coppus
same.
was pretty mid. It was the best part was Joe Yatsin, one beam, and Charlotte Booth got injured and ended her elite career with a perfect 10. She got a perfect 10.
But she also came as taking on uneven bars. Let's not just do that to that girl.
Oh, she did. I didn't see that. Okay, Coppus came and went. The next World Cup seems to have been Baku.
Baku, which again, no American women. I think it was one American guy who won Pommel Horse. Maybe the Americans came 1-2 on Pommel Horse, but that's it. That was really mid to me, Baku.
Baku was mid, but I really enjoyed the bars final for the women. And I haven't watched the beam and floor final really. The Japanese did well.
That's what I was about to say. With Baku, all the Japanese girls went to Baku.
Okay, then we have Antalya, which is Turkey.
And finally, some Americans came.
1 and 2 in the vault final, Jayla Hang and Claire Pease. We got the full twisting laid out Jaeger named after Yang Fan Yue. Claire Pease came in second on bars. Claire Pease won the beam final. Claire Pease came in second on floor. Michelle Pinedo came in third on floor. Excellent. Okay, this is great for my memory. There have been 3 World Cups, and the next one is Osijek, which is in Croatia. Yay. Maybe that took 2 minutes. Okay. The only American gymnasts that need to be doing Lopez's are Jordan and Sky at this point. What about Jayla
Well, I
doesn't
want
need
to
to
say
train the
Leanne.
Lopez?
Who?
Jayla? I mean,
I
we've
think
seen her
Jayla.
training a Chang.
I think Jayla is open to get that vault credited as a Lopez. It is just nowhere even close. That's why I don't understand. Why do they expect it to be credited with a Chung when it's not even close to being a Lopez? Like, at least with Claire, I would give it credit for a Lopez. I would give it deductions, but I would give it credit for a laid out body position.
Have you seen Hesley's floor routine from the national team training camp?
I have.
What's going on? Because she wasn't trying for assignments. I'm sure it was on purpose. She did a layout last pass. But why is she doing these leaps that she's not ready for?
It's Valeri.
Like,
I,
just downgrade your leaps. You're not ready. Just do a
I,
switch half. Do
but I think the
a
leaps
split
were.
fall.
I think the leaps were her big upgrade to this routine. That's why she wanted to. I think that's the whole reason to do floor was to debut these 2 leaps that she's never done before, and they both were trash. No offense to you, Hesley, but they were.
And
I just don't understand.
she does a Cossacks turn.
What the hell is a Cossack turn? A wolf turn?
Cossacks. Wolf turn. I don't know. A Mitchell turn. I don't know what the double wolf term is named after. Uh, uh, Humphreys? No.
It's named after some old school Soviet gym because the double wolf turn on floor got named in like.
You don't think it's Cossacks?
I mean, it might be actually. It might be actually.
You know exactly what I was talking about the first time I said it.
Um. So yeah, let's move on to the NCAA real quick. Since Shayna and Ezra done abandoned
Fuck
us
these
to the
Jesselo lineups.
oh shit. I don't know because I don't know enough and to be honest, I don't know enough to do a just full lineup because Zoe Malamo sucks on bars, so I'm assuming they don't want to use her on bars.
Let me look at it. But that's a good place to start. Which routines do we definitely not want to use in a team final? But I feel like they put up 5. I feel like it might just be like 5 up, 5 up, because looking at that 2022 Jesselo, they had 5 all-arounders. It was the top 5 all-arounders were all-American. Let's start with that. If there's an alternate on this team, who's the alternate? Tatum Drush?
Yes.
Are we okay using Dulcie on everything?
Okay, well then I'm assuming everybody's going to be used on everything. Then I guess not mad about shit. I miss those days of gymnastics when hell, it's a team event. Every girl on the team needs to go.
Who are you? Is there anyone on this team you're excited about? Like, I feel like we've seen all these girls. It was
I'm
exciting
excited.
to me when Ashley Sullivan upgraded her floor at DTB, and I had no idea it was coming. I was so unprepared.
But was it an upgrade or did she just change her skill?
I've never seen her even train a syllabus.
But wasn't she going for a Chusavita?
I just meant upgrading as in showing a new hard skill. She did the Chuso at Winter Cup.
Yeah, so I mean it's the same routine, just a different, smarter. No, that just means that eventually she's trying to go for a Chuso as her first time. I mean, a double double as her first time to pass, a full twist and double layout as her last time to, as her second time to pass, and then something through to a double tuck as her dismount.
Yeah, she's been doing front full to a double tuck as her dismount. But that's crazy if she pulls that off. That's like Kalia Lincoln level. Kalia Lincoln, she never got the routine that I thought she was going to reach. I thought she was going to reach the well, there was that one random competition that I like blocked out of my memory. I don't remember her doing Amours, but there's video of it, so I know she did it.
I just posted it the other week on my damn
No,
Twitter
I
page.
saw this and I was like, when did she do Amours? Like, thank God she stopped doing that.
It
It
was
was
at
not
track.
ready. I needed her to do the syllabus because she had an amazing syllabus. And then I needed her to do her chuso. And then I needed her to do her front fall to her full in. And it just never happened.
Oh no.
Girl, what the fuck? I was disappointed.
Maybe
Okay,
she could do it at UCLA next. I mean LSU next year.
yes, UCLA, get in that transfer portal.
I think Leah Lincoln loves LSU. I don't think she's gonna go anywhere.
I know, I'm just teasing her because I like you, or I'm teasing you also. I like UCLA more than LSU. Ooh.
Um, randomly college because it happened. And without Shayna or Ezra, I have lots less interest in talking about college. Like y'all see, we
How
spent two
did
hours
how
every
did
week.
Jordan Bowers score 3 perfect 10s?
Girl,
Where did that come from? She wasn't scoring any perfect 10s the whole season, but
we're
she
not gonna
was
start.
doing really
We're not gonna.
well.
We're not gonna start this show off with fake news. And them 3 10s was fake ass fuck. Like she
But
literally
why did she get them here and nowhere else? Was it at Oklahoma or something?
no, and like they just was scoring Oklahoma so high, and it just was not necessary because they were so winning by so much already, and then they just start giving the tens down, and it was like why? Like it don't even make sense. It's not like
I
they're
could not
already
make sense
winning.
of it.
Like what the fuck is
Which was the event that she didn't get the 10 on? I know she got it on vault.
beam?
Yeah, that tracks. But I could see her getting a 10 on beam. I think it's the only event. I think she hasn't gotten a 10 ever on beam. If I'm thinking right.
Yes, I agree. Her 10 on bars was a legitimate 10. It was that was like the best routine I've ever seen her do.
But
Her
not
beam,
floor. I love her floor.
it's just she took a slide back on her double pike. Like it can't be a 10 when like you move. It's same thing with Faith Torres on her double layout. Like your foot literally slid back on your double layout. We all can see it. How can that be a 10? Like
Oh, that's convenient. Right as we start talking about NCAA, Shayna's back.
let me see.
I prefer Jordan Bowers over Faith Torres any event, any day of the week.
I'm trying to add you, Shannon. Give me 1 second, baby. I don't know if it did it. Yes,
I
it did.
see her.
Hey, girl, did you wake up finally, girl?
I did.
I told the people I knew she went right to sleep. I knew it was coming.
I say, well, I fell asleep, no warning, no nothing. I don't know. I was tired.
It's okay.
So you
Was it?
missed everything we said about Elite. It's
Oh,
convenient.
I'm sorry. Well, I won't have no choice after next week, so.
Yeah, after next week, it's the end of NCAA
It's
gymnastics
a
for
wrap for the NCAA, and to tell y'all the truth, this is one of the few seasons that I'm kind of ready for it to be over with.
Hmm.
And I've never said it because NCAA is my baby, but I have been just so busy with everything, so now I can decompress and try to at least get into elite now.
That's
Um,
like that's kind of concerning to me. That this season is like not hitting the way it has for you. Like,
yeah.
are the rivers drying up? The birds not chirping? Like, that's
Hmm.
not a good thing.
I
Is it
think.
the rule changes of like the two past Florida teams and like the lack of difficulty? Because it's really been hard for me too this season. Like,
Mhm. That's part of it. This, and then the judging is terrible as well. And
Was
that's the
last season much better or only a little
last
better?
season was much better.
Okay.
Um,
That I think one of my favorite moments from last season was Connor on floor.
hmm
That was just like, yes,
And then like
give it to me.
she
She
competed
was so
Saturday,
in
but I
control.
didn't even hear her floor music this weekend. The audio was so terrible. Like I don't know if she used new music, if it was old music.
She ate. She ate
Um,
so hard.
I am happy for Michigan State. Teams like Michigan State and Missouri. I'm not an Alabama fan, but they
Are
earned
you
they.
are you scared about Utah?
I'm never scared of Utah.
Even with these 2 weeks for Avery Neff to rest her ankles?
No, I'm not scared of Utah at all. I'm more worried about them giving home these fake ass scores. Uh,
Is something wrong, Michaela?
oh no, I'm so sorry. I was just up here high. So
oh,
no, like, I agree. Oklahoma and them scores, man, like it just was so fucking ridiculous. Like it just
like
they
you
already was winning. Like that's the crazy part. Like there was just no reason for like
like that was not a 198.4 performance.
it
And
wasn't even a one like
mhm, I just don't see it for Oklahoma.
How did my boo Kira do?
Kira who?
Is Kira Wells not an OU gymnast?
Oh yeah, she is. They let her do beam. She stayed on. Uh, um, she had a hop on her little vault, but her form is really good on that vault. She doesn't get the credit, but her vault is one of the best ones on that team.
Who has the best Yurchenko 1.5 in the country, and you can't pick Jade Carey?
Kaylin Chio.
Do you think
Kaylin.
it's
Kaylin.
Kaylin is better than everyone on Missouri?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not a
my
bad
thing
pick.
is that Missouri and MSU, and I could see this much clearer watching, the vaults next to each other. Missouri and MSU does this thing where they kind of cheat the block and they twist kind of early off the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Oscar, I know you told me this earlier this season, so God. But it's just so obvious compared to watching like OU or LSU or even Florida. Like the way they it's almost like they're trying to do an almanac, like how much like they're like a quarter turn on the table, and it's like, my gosh, like
like I know I'm not the most technical when it comes to gymnastics, but aren't you for vault? Aren't you supposed to block first and then twist?
yeah,
Yes. Don't don't downplay yourself, your eye. I know you know the
Mm-hmm.
technique.
Yeah, and vault
that's
is
why I think Jay Carey's vault is so much superior. Even though Jay Carey does have a technical issue with her block too. Like she doesn't cheat it, but she does do this like split leg thing that
Mm-hmm.
should be deducted as well. But just Jay Carey blocks, rises into the air, and then does the 1.5 twist and then lands. Same thing with Jordan Bowers. Jordan Bowers, you can dislike her gymnastics all you want to. She
What?
blocks correctly on her what your Chinko 1.5, whereas
Why would
uh,
anyone dislike Jordan Bauer's gymnastics?
oh, people do,
I
people
I
do.
mean,
like
they're
Jordan
just
Howard
getting,
is a technically sound gymnast. Her
yeah.
over the weekend, her bars was one of the best pieces of gymnastics in the whole competition. I don't know how they got tens anything else in that meet. Faye Torres with the two slides. That vault was horrible.
I
It
feel
was
like Faith is one of the most overscored on that team
to me,
consistently.
Hannah Horton's vault and Gabby Stevens' vault were the best vaults the whole weekend.
Hannah Horton has just been on fire this whole season.
Hmm.
Like, I think they're the best. Part of why they're my favorite vaulting team is because of just how often they're able to stick these incredible vaults. It's not
Yes.
just the landings that
Yeah.
are incredible.
You
It's a
get,
crazy vault, and then they're sticking it consistently.
and I know judges are in different events, but if Helen Who didn't get a 10 on B, I don't understand.
I thought
Like,
she did.
no, she got like a 9925 to clean.
9925. They
But
tried
she
that
got a
like
10 like 3 days ago, so they competed twice.
Yeah,
yeah.
they round.
That's why okay, that's why I'm saying that I wish they would stop calling it a regionals and start calling it a playoff and allow it to happen over 3 weeks because even I don't know if
Mhm.
most people realize it or not. Most teams competed twice this weekend.
All
If not,
every team competed twice. I don't think no one made it to the final round to compete a third time, but they got to start changing up the wording to Sweet 16, Elite Final 32. Like they have to
I
start
don't
making it
like it. They need
um
to. It's not. It's so confusing.
but they do that in basketball though, you
I
know.
I
but
hate basketball.
in basketball, wait before we go into why I hate basketball. But it's spread out over weeks. So it's not like you compete one day, then turn around and compete the next day. So the whole tournament is over in one weekend. It's like a 3 week thing.
But
I
that's
think in
how no,
gymnastics,
that's how the Final Four was. The Final Four happens one day, then they have a break, and then they have the championship game the next day.
but that's just the final four. But the rest of the playoffs,
I think the first rounds and second rounds are like that too. It changes up a little bit. I'm just saying it does that. Most sports they do that. Baseball the same way. Football's the only one that really doesn't do it. But baseball they have it like that. Compete one day, next day, or the day after.
But
Sometimes
why
in
can't
baseball,
gymnastics have its own model?
yeah, but you see how that goes. Gymnastics is its own entity, but I feel like they lose people because people don't be knowing what the fuck be going on. It's
correct, because
fine.
it's too like I'm so sorry. Like maybe 3 weeks is too long. I give y'all that, but it started on Wednesday. It ended on Sunday. That's too fast. That's too much gymnastics. It's too many competitions. It's too
That's
many.
why I'm exhausted. It
And
was a
and
lot.
Nisha's out here saying she needed to rewatch the whole thing. because she needed a gymnastics fix.
Mm.
I'm like, how? You watched all of it. I'm impressed. Go off.
I watched it all too, but I did what I did today. I fell asleep on the LSU final. So I only came to it when they was in the third rotation. So I had to go back and watch the first two rotations.
How could you? You're a fake
I was
fan. You fell
tired.
asleep?
I fell
The
asleep.
LSU Tigers. I'm gonna tell Livy.
See, Saturday I had a funeral to go to.
Oh,
So I was gone all day. And when I got back, I was wore out. I'm not your age, Oscar. I have to take naps.
I take naps too. I love naps.
I have to take naps. I've been up since like 6:30 this morning, went to work, had meetings all day. I got home at like 5 o'clock Michaela time.
Michaela time? Why is it not Oscar time?
I don't know your time. I just know Michaela is
We
a.
have the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Oscar is in New York,
Okay. Well,
so we're all
so
East Coast.
Teasing.
so it's 10 o'clock y'all time right now.
It is 10
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah. I
Um.
know, Nisha. I'm sorry. Of all the regional finals, I fell asleep on that one. But
Oh,
I feel like I feel like
I got a
Leanne
good one.
Wong deserved a 10 on Bean.
Yeah, it was a very good being routine. But I got something that we could do because to just talk about regionals, it's just a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But I got something that will be a fun game. Let's do our individual qualifiers because we all know mine, and y'all are reading me for mine. But I think right now
What do
in
you
the
mean?
individual events, I think it's going to be between Jade Carey and Jordan Bowers in the all around. And for whatever reason, the Georgians are leaning towards Jordan Bowers, so I'm leaning that way too.
But are you just saying that because they literally just started leaning her way this last meet?
I mean, they almost gave that girl a perfect 40. Like, I mean, I
I
don't
know,
know
but
how
like
much.
she hadn't gotten any 10s the whole season, had she?
I know,
no,
like,
I mean, and she was on. She was locked in. But that could be anybody. That could be a Leanne. That could be a Kaylin or a Haley. I don't think she's the front runner. I still feel like it's Jade,
Why
and it's
can't it
not
be
Jade.
Jordan Childs, Shayna?
It's
she's up there.
she's up there, like it's a possibility, but I just feel like the NCAA champion has to be like dialed in to win all four events. Um,
So Shay Campbell.
not
It's
I don't.
possible.
It's possible, but I don't see it. I mean, Shay was going against not as many all arounders at the Big Tens, but you know that's just my thing. Jordan was kind of off, and Jordan kind of been like that recently. Like she can't stick the bar this mouth. She hopping on the ball or
She's saving
something.
it for nationals.
Well,
Don't want to use it all up.
I
Could
would
it be
hope
Connor
so.
McLean?
I don't
She
think
doesn't do
so.
well.
If she's not doing vaulting, um, I if anything, I could see Jay Carey. Um,
What about Amari Celestine?
not at all. Um,
What about Lily Smith?
not at all. Her vault is not strong enough.
Did she qualify as an individual?
She only qualified on
Floor.
floor, I think.
So only 4 individual qualifiers get to do the all around, the ones who actually qualify for the all around.
Yes,
But those 4 could, because they're doing all 4 pieces, they could medal on everything.
correct.
They could.
I don't like that. I feel like if you qualify, you should be able to do everything like the Olympics.
It used to be like that, but not anymore.
They're robbing my girl Lily Smith.
Blame ABC. They wanted.
But
They wanted.
Lily, I love Lily, and I'm so proud of Georgia with the turnaround. But at the end of the day, they are the last SEC team this season because they were knocked out first. So they're going to be the lowest ranked SEC team. For two, Lily has been weak on beam all season, really. She's had a misconnection here, there, and everywhere if you go back.
Well,
Because I
she was
like
coming
her.
back from an injury. How can Georgia be below Arkansas?
Because Arkansas made it to their regional final. Georgia was knocked out the first round.
But they didn't even make it to the SEC championships.
Who?
That's why I say they should just cancel the SEC championships because they don't mean shit.
I mean, it's bragging rights, and the SEC is the dominant.
In
You
my
know,
book, I think Arkansas is the last one.
based on what I saw, it, I don't know. Based on because Georgia gave it up. Georgia had, they had a disastrous beam rotation, and they still could have advanced to the next round had Lily Smith made her connection. Because even though Cara had failed and the first girl had failed, they still was not that far out. But Lily, it was a progression. Like she had been struggling on connections on beam, or if it wasn't the series, it was the acro. Like it was a problem if you watch her throughout the season. So they're gonna have to rework that because she's too talented, and she's really the face. She's their gymnast that can really score tens on everything but vault. And I was
I
shocked that
think
they
Lily
didn't.
is more of Georgia's lead player than Jeffrey because to me, Jeffrey is Georgia's number
Yeah,
one.
I think with
No,
her,
I think Lily.
it's Lily
Lily.
because she's the all arounder. She's the freshman of the year. What her Jeffrey doesn't do all around. So most of the time, your face of the team or the school has to be an all arounder. Um,
Doesn't
so,
mean Jeffrey couldn't be on Lily's level or higher, but just the way things went.
yeah,
What event Jeffrey doesn't do? Floor?
she doesn't do floor.
What does she
So
do
when
on
you
ball?
so when you look at it, like Jeffrey does 3 events. She just
Does she
started
do a
doing three
ball?
events, but yeah, she
She does the
vault,
Virchenko full.
and it's one of the better Yurchenko fulls. Um,
Could Avery Neff win the all around?
I feel like with the NCAA, it's a possibility anyone can win it.
Lily Hudson?
I don't think Lily has a strong enough bars.
I don't like Avery on bars, but for whatever reason they keep giving her these huge ass bar scores. So
Well, she fully lays out that dismount. Um, I
So
actually
your
prefer.
discount can excuse the rest of your routine?
What does she do? She does the Ginger to the overshoot, right?
mhm.
You don't like it? I think she has pretty decent form on it.
I mean,
Mhm.
I think I did like her bar routine. It's not my
Decent is
favorite.
not qualified to be the all around champion of the country.
I could see Avery over Grace though. I could never see. And then why were they giving her such a high score?
Man,
Because that's horrible.
y'all disrespecting Grace McCallum. Watch it be Grace.
No,
We're
I'm
all
dead.
disrespecting Grace McCallum.
That
Watch it
girl,
be
like
Grace.
she lands like she's running a long jump on that ball, and I don't know how it scored anything over 9.775.
I don't know why Grace just doesn't do her tuck poker pie Ava and call it a day.
Hmm.
Would you rather it be Faith Torres or Selena Harris?
Selena Harris all day.
What about Selena Harris or
Because it could be Selena, it could be Leanne.
Yeah.
would you rather it be Selena or Leanne?
I would like.
Honestly, Leanne, just because Leanne never wins anything, so I would be happy for her.
Leanne won so many things. Do I need to list you all the things she's won in her long, illustrious career?
As a senior, sure.
As a senior? Okay,
We're
let's
talking
do it.
about the college NCAA Oscar, not elite.
Oh, she's
No,
won
I'm talking about
titles in
Elite
both.
too.
She's won titles in both.
Because the only title she's ever won in elite gymnastics was the American Cup. Outside of that,
Oh, she won the U.S. Classic. She beat Shilese with a fall. She won she won the uneven bars in 2024.
for what?
What happened?
At
Please.
NCAA championships.
Leah was not the uneven bar championship, was she?
Yes, I feel like we've been over this because you forgot it already.
Y'all, what? Did I miss something? Did Shilese have another surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah,
On what? Her shoulder?
she didn't say.
No, she said it was her shoulder.
And didn't we talk about, didn't I talk
Um,
about Shilese and like, I don't know what we were talking about, but I remember to the extent of when I was saying if she wasn't going to NCAA, when she looked back at like her career, I understand she's been this and that, but she's not an Olympian. And the poor girl is so beat up. Like, I just want Mama to heal.
Yeah, that's
Nisha, both of those answers could be right too. I agree with both of those are possibilities. Haley Bryant or Aaliyah Finnegan. They both could win.
Yeah. Aaliyah has improved so much on bars. So, for her finally to be able to have a senior season to where she can land a bar that's mount.
I
That's
got
gold.
a question though for both of you LSU fans though.
Stop.
If college was like elite and there could only be two girls who would advance to the all around, what two girls would you want to see from you LSU?
It's not Aaliyah. It would be Haley and Caitlin.
Kalia Lincoln.
Out of those three, or just anyone on the team?
Anybody on the team? Because I would think it would be Connor at her
Oh,
best.
it definitely would be Connor. It would be Connor and Haley.
Haley.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you saying it like that? What's wrong with Haley? She's their best girl.
What was the question again?
If let's say if this national championships was like world championships, right? Where then you
Per
could
country.
to a team, right? You could qualify what two girls, and let's do this for all the top teams now because this is fun.
Mm-hmm.
What two girls would you want to qualify through to the all around on each team?
Probably. Well, can we choose Connor since she's not doing vol?
Sure, take her at her ball because she is training a double twist, so we know it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
She just doesn't do it because she's training, saving it for elite. But
it's a silly question. It's so open ended. So many possibilities. Make believe. I would choose Kalia Lincoln and Connor.
that would not be bad. Well, I do. She still would have to do uneven bars. She still would have to do uneven bars. So no.
You're foreshadowing the future, Oscar. Love it.
I hope so.
Oh, that would be a good future for LSU though.
I
Kalia
mean,
Lincoln, Connor's their two top girls.
a healthy Zoe, maybe an Amari on a beam. We have great things coming. Then we have some great freshmen. So y'all gonna get sick of LSU, and I'm here for it.
I'm already sick. I'm sick.
So second to Oklahoma, it would
Okay,
definitely.
let's do Oklahoma next because that's a good one. Because I think it would be.
It's Jordan Bowers and Audrey Davis for me. With a better pre-flight for Audrey on vault. But I'm just not a Faith Torres fan. I'm sorry.
Jordan Bowers and Danae Fletcher. Or Kira Wells.
Okay. Delusion Land. What about you, Michaela?
I would go Jordan Bowers and probably. I mean, Addison is just consistent across the board. Like,
yes,
she doesn't have the best.
She's not ready to score a 10 on anything though. Lots of built-in deductions. Oh no.
All right. Florida.
Florida would be probably Leanne and Sky.
Selena and Sky.
What did Michaela's? Did you see that um that trans episode that Michaela did with her other co-host? I can't remember her name, but when Michaela was having technical difficulties like that, it was so funny. She was like, "Hold that pose, hold that pose."
Oh, with Denise.
Denise, she was fabulous.
Yes. I would go Leanne and Selena
Over Sky?
over Sky, even though I think, like with Sky, I know what she could do in Elite. It's just, I don't know. Even with Floor still in NCAA, I don't know what tumbling passes Sky could do or should do.
I
Well,
think
Like, what
Sky would have such a nice floor if
well,
she
I-
really
they
knew that she did not need difficulty, elite difficulty. She still has a beautiful set on her double tuck. She could definitely pull out that front double twist
we have
and
Hello as well, and then
just end with a 1.5 front layout.
Cranial. All right, so number 4, we're gonna go Utah. Um, on that team, I'm trying to think. Um, who do I
I know y'all hate Grace, but I'm definitely using Grace. But I'm not using Avery. I'm using Amelia.
I'm
Morgan.
definitely Avery.
Amelie?
Amelie Morgan. There we go.
No, indeed, I'm definitely using Avery. I don't know who would be number 2.
I'm gonna pick Jaylene Gilstrap and
Hell,
Crystal Issa.
d- all right, next team.
Oh, Cal.
Cal.
Who had
I
them?
love Madeline Williams. She's my favorite on their team, and hopefully we can get
It
oh
would
God,
be Undine and
uh,
it would be um
MJ.
MJ. Yeah. Undine and MJ.
You
I,
guys don't like Maya Lizan?
I like Madeline
I
Williams
like Maya. I just think Undine is a better gymnast at her at, you know.
at her peak.
Yeah.
At Undine at peak, I think the best gymnast physically is MJ, but it's just been a disconnect with me and her. Um, I don't just love her. I wish she would have did a different vault to really
She
put
had
her.
a really nice stick on a double tuck sometime the last week. One
Um,
of those days she was competing.
I just feel like MJ needs to do a Yurchenko full and leave that double twist to her elite dreams.
mhm. I love Maddie
I
Williams.
wish I would stop putting these rumors on MJ that she's leaving Cal to come to Florida. That just doesn't even make sense. Like, why would she leave Cal to come to Florida? Like, it's
Why would Selena Harris leave UCLA for Florida?
well, I mean, she technically didn't leave. She technically got kicked out, so it's a different situation.
She didn't
Mhm.
get kicked out. They just asked her to take a pause. And we don't even know
Allegedly,
any of this. This is all speculation, allegedly. What do you think about have you seen um those little segments Marzetta is posting where she like practices commentating routines? She was doing some for some of her elite routines. They were really funny.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, they're really funny. I've been watching them on Instagram, but she might post them other places too.
I wonder if Mars blocked me
she,
because I used to.
she just gives me toxic. I'm sorry.
Marzetta?
Because I used to follow her everywhere and see her all over my timeline. Now I don't, and I don't know if it's because
Crickets.
she,
Why?
yeah.
She's toxic.
She just gave me toxic vibes, mean girl vibes.
And then one
Really?
day on the damn because y'all know I love Mars, but I've heard those rumors too from a lot of the people at the NCAA and like people that I know and
I
like
just feel like she doesn't put up with the foolishness.
Girl,
She's
have some decorum.
well from what I've heard, and this is probably
have
why
some
she
decorum,
won.
Shayna. Where are these rumors coming from?
Well, you
Well,
know,
from what I've heard, she is the start of the bullshit, not the. She doesn't put up with the bullshit. She starts the bullshit, and
ask Sakai right.
I thought they were good friends. Where did you?
were at one point in time, but
Mm.
Well, I don't know Sakai Wright like that. Sakai Wright might be the toxic one.
she could be. She could.
Speaking of Mark Zeta, we got to finish UCLA top two
Oh
gymnasts.
yeah, that's because that's the one I would be. It would be Jordan and Brooklyn at their best.
At their best, Jordan and Brooklyn, with a little pinch of their new little freshman who I love, Mika Webster.
I like Mika and Macy more than Brooklyn.
No, indeed, Mason shouldn't.
Brooklyn at her best when she
At
was an elite gymnast. I think she was third before she got hurt. I think
oh, Macy McGowan. I'm sorry. No, man.
yeah. If Brooklyn really wanted to, I think she could make the damn Canadian world team right now. Like if she really wanted to.
Sorry. And Macy couldn't?
No, indeed.
Is Macy Canadian?
I like Mika. Yeah, I
But
love.
like Macy's just Brooklyn. It's giving flexed feet. It's giving weird skill selection. It's giving soft knees.
Is giving Canadian gymnastics. That's what they. That's what they do.
Hey, it's giving Grace McCallum's sister.
It's
Oh
giving
wow.
it's giving second to Jordan every time if they're the two.
I mean, it was gonna always be that anyways, but they're still gonna be the two.
So you don't think there's any? I think Emma Malabuyo could beat her.
At all. No, man. They
At her at Brooklyn's best, no. At Emma's. Ooh.
I
Emma
think you're just saying that because Brooklyn has a 10.0 vault.
Emma and Brooklyn are cousins when it comes to those flex feet and them knees.
What? Where? On what skills?
No, because at Emma's, did Emma used to have a DTY in the league?
She did.
So I mean,
You act like Emma is known to be this form girl, and it's just not there. I don't see it.
Where does Emma have form issues besides her bars dismount and when she tries to do ring jumps and leaps on beam?
Okay.
wow.
So what else?
I
What?
see what they like. I'm not oblivious, but tell me where I'm missing it.
But you pointed out Brooklyn.
Oh my god, you said, but her bars disrupt.
Have
She tried to do release on me.
like you really just offended me with Brooklyn. The soft knees, the flex feet. Emma has flex feet.
Where though? Like Brooklyn has like a leg separation and a weird pike position on her vault. On bars, I don't even know what Brooklyn does. So, but
Does Brooklyn even do bars
I don't need
anymore?
to bring that up to prove my point.
She doesn't.
On
She
beam,
used to, right?
it's the switch half. The beam,
Once upon a
beam
time.
jump, the cat leap into the switch half, the
Mm-hmm.
front aerial into the. Doesn't she do front aerial or something?
Mm-mm.
And on floor, it's the there's just the soft knees, I guess, and the switch half.
Yeah. So you described everything with the same with Brooklyn. You
With
just said,
Emma. With Emma. No, Emma doesn't
I
put
mean,
her
but
feet in her switch half. She doesn't.
you need all the film. You need to go back and watch, and you're gonna see they're more alike than not.
Oh my God, who put this earlier on in the show that y'all feel like Simone Rose is just going to switch to the Philippines because she doesn't have enough difficulty to maintain with the Americans? Who put that? I agree, but who put that?
Where do you see it? I don't even see that. Oh,
That was
Johnny Pear. What made you go back and read those very beginning comments?
I don't,
Especially
because I forgot to read the comments, so I was trying to see if it was something that I was missing that,
we're gonna see that more, y'all. Especially with the Olympics being in the States, we're gonna see a lot of those
I
Aaliyah
mean,
Finn.
I don't blame the girls if they can switch countries. Why not? And make the Olympics easy. Like,
Oh, speaking of switching countries, did you see that very exciting news about Yesenia Ferreira, the Cuban gymnast?
and she's trying to come back.
Yeah, she's trying to come back. She gave an interview. I haven't finished reading it. We can look at it together if you're interested. But she's a part of it that I did read said that she's totally open to switching federations. She's just looking for someone, a federation that will support her financially, amongst other things. That's why she stopped competing. And she said she'd prefer her prior her first choice would be maybe like she said Mexico, Italy, United States, or Germany maybe. And all the Italians are like, let's get her to Italy.
Please don't go to Italy, young black girl. You think you've experienced racism before in your life? Stay the hell out of Italy.
No
Why would
Italian.
there?
Wait, it's such a short interview. Should I put it on the screen?
Sure. I'm so sorry, baby girl. I don't think the Americans want you right now. Uh, well,
What
maybe the
about my
Brazilians
girl
need
Miley
you.
Lou?
Can you make it like full screen since it's hard for us to read small things like this?
What about my girl Miley Lou?
Miley Lou, I'm waiting for some updates on her. She had to withdraw from the Winter Cup because she was injured, I guess.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
unfortunate.
think she's hurt. I'm not sure if she's going to be back or not this season, but I know she was hurt.
I
And
love Miley Lou.
I do
When
too.
did you become a fan of Miley Lou?
Um, uh, not last year. One of those years when they were doing when I was actually watching. I think 22.
is
That
Miley
were
Lou going to LSU?
no, she's not.
She's going to Michigan, I think.
Really?
I think
I
so.
fell
Yeah.
in I fell in love with her bars.
She's so good on bars, but she's honestly good on everything.
She has good. She's really good on beam as well.
And
Um,
floor,
and
she's a good floor worker.
She stuck out to me whenever I watched the elite season, going up into those worlds because that was the season Connor won, right?
That was a while ago. I don't even know how into her I was then.
I was into her
2022?
then. I was into her then. That's
She
how I
was
remember
already
her.
a junior then. But
Um,
Michaela liked her because of her leotard.
that she had a pretty leotard as well.
So look how good Mama's looks. Yesenia Ferreira. And her floor team was just circulating on Twitter a few weeks ago.
Really, I've never heard of her.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
God, she was a brilliant Cuban gymnast who could do like all kind of crazy stuff on floor.
Not
But
just good tumbles. She had amazing dance gymnastic skills also.
she competed for Cuba with
Yeah.
no money, no
They
gymnastics
probably
federation.
broke as hell.
Shayna, she was doing Silva. She was doing Chuso. She was starting halfway across the floor, walking into her 2.5 front layout full.
Cool.
Okay.
She was doing massive, those split jump 1.5, and then also
A
doing
real, or I think she's one of the few gymnasts in the world that could do Gojion and get it credited.
she also did the Gojian, but I love those 1.5 turning standing jumps also.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have the village, to help support her.
Well, let's read. Let's read. International Gymnast Media is who did the interview. Cuba's Yesenia Ferreira on coming back. If I was giving an opportunity, I would take that opportunity. April 8th. That's today. Cuba's Yesenia Ferreira, shown at recent training, is eager to return to international gymnastics competition. Although 6 years have passed since Cuban gymnast Yesenia Ferreira clinched medals at the World Cup of Copas and Pan American Games, she is firmly grasping the possibilities in her comeback to international gymnastics. Ferreira, whose full name is Yesenia Saskia Ferreira Nunez, was born October 6, 1998, in the province of Santiago de Cuba. She made her first major international mark at the 2014 Pan American Championships in Canada, where she placed fourth all around, second on vault, and third on floor exercise. Ferreira's abundant acrobatics there, full twisting double layout, 2.5 twist, punch front full, double tuck, more than matched the dynamics of her energetic dance and soaring leaps. On track for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, Ferreira next finished 7th on vault at the 2015 World Challenge Cup of Anadia and competed at the 2017 World Championships in Montreal. She then earned silver on vault at the 2019 Pan American Games, where she was 12th all around, and bronze on vault at the 2019 World Cup of Copas, where she performed a DTY and a Lopez. So much promise disappeared along with Ferreira when she ceased her quest for a spot in Tokyo due to financial restrictions. Now, after performing in a German circus but staying in gymnastics shape over these past 5 years, she is optimistic about her chance to resume her competitive career and reach her potential at last. In this international gymnast online interview, the steadfast Ferreira describes her initial retirement, her determination to return to international competition, and the options she envisions for herself on the global stage. The magazine asks, COVID notwithstanding, why didn't we see you in competition after 2019? She said, my last competition after the 2019 Pan American Games in Lima was in Germany, my last World Cup, where I was the bronze medalist on vault. The non-return to gymnastics was due to lack of budget, which my country did not have to continue taking me to the other World Cups to qualify for the Olympic Games. When you left gymnastics, how unfulfilled did you feel in terms of your desire to compete and the potential you still had? She says, the truth is that I was very dissatisfied after my departure, since I knew that I could achieve many more things in my sports career. They ask, how was your transition process from gymnastics to life away from the sport? She says, it was not easy to adapt to normal life, but for a high performance athlete, nothing is impossible since we face great personal challenges. They ask, when and how did you come to join the circus in Germany? She says, after my retirement from gymnastics, I have remained active until today, not at 100%, but at 50%, since I immediately joined as a circus artist. I was hired to work in long and short seasons in Germany from 2020 to the present. They ask, when did you get the idea to want to resume your gymnastics career? And Yesenia says, I never wanted to get away from gymnastics. I only did it or stopped for lack of opportunities. In terms of logistics, what permission would you need to seek from the Cuban Gymnastics Federation, and how do you intend to present your case to them? If I were given the opportunity to return, I know that the Federation would give me the opportunity to do it again. They ask, how much better do you feel you can become as a competitor at the global level? For example, on each of the apparatuses, what skills are you still capable of performing, and how do you think you can adapt to the current code of points? She says, I know that I can improve a lot as a worldwide competitor. I am very good on floor exercise, vault, and balance beam. I can change many things. My most complicated apparatus is uneven bars, but I am not so bad. I can do a safe routine. I would only need the opportunity and a correct preparation to be ready in at least 7 months. I feel very good physically, and I think my return would be very nice. They ask, what do you believe you can contribute to the national team of another country? In which countries are you soliciting for this opportunity? She says, I know that I can do a lot for a team from another country, and I'm really looking for an opportunity where they give it to me. But I would like it to be for the US, Mexico, Italy, or Germany. But the country that gives me the opportunity, I will be there. Last question, they ask, how do you plan to integrate your professional work in the circus with gymnastics training? Would you be able to do both? She says, I just need to get ready. I know I can achieve it. I don't lack desire and love for gymnastics. Now I'm in Cuba until the new work season in Germany in September. Already informed my company and they support me. I just need them to know and them in time everything about my decisions. They know that I have always had desires to return. I have never stopped talking about it, and if I was given an opportunity, I would take that opportunity. Very interesting. I wish her lots of success, and I hope that someone. Oh, Shane is gone as soon as it's back to Elite. I hope that she finds a federation. Don't you wish her success and a
I do
federation?
think for success. I just think it's a pipe dream trying to compete for the well, maybe Italy, but for the Americans,
She said Germany or Mexico.
I think Mexico is the most realistic one.
Germany would kill to have her old routines.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? But you guys, with that being said, whew, I'm falling asleep as we're talking, so I think this is a perfect time to end the show. Surprisingly, we've been on for almost 3 hours. I don't know what the hell we talked about for 3 hours, but it was a lot of them elite gymnastics coverage. Very, very little NCAA gymnastics coverage. And I want to say this. I'm very proud of myself and especially for Oscar. I want to thank Oscar for being a wonderful friend who constantly keeps me out of drama. Even though I love to talk about drama and dramatic things, Oscar keeps me in check and be like, no, girl, we are not going to talk about that over here. Let them people set fire to the rain where they're at over there. But over here, we will not do that. And I'll be like, thank you, Oscar. And that's what we need. Let's set fire to the rain and more community as gymnastics people because guess what? In 2020, in 2032, we might not even have gymnastics at the Olympics anymore because I don't think the Aussies have announced that gymnastics is going to be an Olympic sport still. So, you know, what would we do if gymnastics became no longer an Olympic sport?
Riot, take the streets.
I think it would be the best thing in the world for gymnastics if they got rid of the Olympics and gymnastics. To be honest,
But why do you say that as if it's there's a oh God, I'm tired too. As if there's a precedent for oh the host country for the Olympics to confirm that sports are still going to take place at their Olympics.
I think it's not a precedent, but because at each Olympics, different sports have been on the chopping block at each Olympic Games, and because gymnastics is just such a premier sport that people just assume that gymnastics is going to be part of the Olympics each time. But
It's just
there's
crazy that, like, statistically, artistic gymnastics is the most viewed sport at the Summer Olympics. At the Olympics, period.
correct. But I think for some people, they look at that viewedness with correctly. What's the word I'm looking for?
Are they jealous? Is it taking away
Not
viewership from other
jealousy.
sports?
No, it's like gymnastics has been allowed to succeed at the cost of so much
Yeah.
that is it right to celebrate gymnastics for what it is when it's so corrupt and it's so
Oh, I thought you meant at the cost of other sports. You mean at the athletes, the
Yes,
gymnasts.
yes, I think that's why
Well,
they're
that would be
talking about.
really moral of them. When have they ever been that interested in ethics or morals?
It's. I don't think it's necessarily that they're that interested in athletes, and well, I think it's to the point with the gymnastics that they can't turn a blind eye to it. It's like at one point they could be like, "Oh, that's just the Soviets," and now that we don't have the Soviets around, it's not the same, and it's not. They can't.
But then there's so many. Why wouldn't there be ton? All of the sports are up for scrutiny.
I think it's the perception that is young girls.
Figure skating?
I think figure skating have that same issue, but with figure skating, they also have the men and the pairs and all those other things that take some of the heat off of the perception of grown men abusing young girls, where gymnastics doesn't really have that. And it's their own fault for like the men's wanting the sport to be less gay, so they don't want to attach themselves to nothing artistic. So it's real boring over there, so don't nobody watch that shit. But
Sleep.
I just think it's just the perception that, and it comes from everywhere, especially now. Like it's almost every major country with a successful gymnastics program have some kind of icky abuse shit going on with them right now.
And I'm sure there's abuse at the ones that are not successful too, unfortunately.
I'm pretty sure it's worse.
Michaela just said all this sweet stuff about how I'm trying to keep her out of drama, keep the podcast out of drama. Mind you, I bring enough drama and messiness for the two of us from time to time. I'll be messy right now. Did you hear about this thing that I don't know all the details to? Apparently, there's a big abuse scandal with the past world champion in rhythmic gymnastics from Italy, Sofia Raffaelli.
Mm.
Okay, then I'm gonna do some research before I talk more about it. But someone brought that to my attention, and I was really surprised at the details they told me and disgusted. And all I'll say, because I'm already being messy and getting myself into potential trouble, is that the abuse came from a female coach.
Oh,
So
yeah,
yeah,
no,
it's always the men.
I haven't heard anything about that. Have you heard about the F? No, the head of the FIG or the Olympic people, and they were trying to, because they were trying to make gymnastics more gender equal, right? And one of the ways they're thinking about bringing equality to gymnastics is to incorporate men into rhythmic gymnastics. Like I talked about this before, like in the Asian countries, they have a very successful men rhythmic gymnastics programs that I think could be incorporated in America quick, fast, in a hurry. And
Saw the comment that the someone made. Who was it?
the head of either the Olympic Committee or the FIG, I'm not sure which one.
I don't think it was Watanabe, so it must have been the IOC.
I must have been the IOC. And he said something to the extent of, we can't have people. Gymnastics is already kind of flamboyant and artistic. We don't want men around here to be perceived as gay or something like that. And the
Yeah,
people were,
I would love to read what he said. Do you know? Did you post it? Is it on your Twitter?
maybe, I'm not sure, it was a couple of days ago.
Yeah, that would be hard for me to find right now. but it was pretty crazy. It was pretty explicitly homophobic. It wasn't like subtle
Oh
at all.
no, it wasn't. There was no kind of shade to it. It was a punch. It wasn't shade. It was an absolute slap in the face. Like,
Yeah.
I know Gymnastics also posted it, so maybe you can find it through them easier.
Oh, you think they like posted it on Twitter?
Yeah.
Well, I'll find it in like a minute if you have a minute to wait.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just looking.
Um, Also, I wanted to say this. I'm going to say this, and this is not getting my. Wow, I was looking for that. Everybody give people a lot more grace. People don't always mean things to be shady or nasty. People. It's very easy to interpret things that you read as shady and messy. Um, you know, if it wasn't for the grace of God, it would be you who have the shoe in your mouth. Just give people grace. People are always trying to cause harm. People just you make it random points sometimes.
Should people be, I found it. Should people be giving grace even when they are being thoughtless and maybe messy inherently by being thoughtless? Always think before you speak and act.
Oh, okay. I know how I'm gonna answer that question, Oscar. Since you tested me, I'm gonna answer that test. I think people, while we're extending grace to people, should also be mindful of the perception of their words. Even if their words aren't being intentionally bitchy or catty or shady, sometimes just by the person that you are, the things that you do can be interpreted as bitchy, shady, and catty. And sometimes it will help with people in understanding your point. Add an emoji. Make it seem because that's what one thing that I learned to do is so people can understand that I'm being funny, even though I'll just put a smiley emoji. And that helps when people know, oh, she's just, trying to be funny right now. Like,
I hate you, you fucking cunt. Heart.
but it helps. But it helps.
You love the crying laughing emoji.
Oh my God, it helps. It helps. It helps. And people just adding an emoji. I promise you, people take whatever you're saying as less shade. If you just put like you know, you can say something shady as fuck and put an emoji behind it, and people be like, "Oh, okay, she's just being funny, girl."
I love being unserious and nothing. So few things are serious. Don't take things too seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously, but you can't expect other people to take what you say unseriously.
Correct. Correct. And sometimes, especially when you have a platform that you establish for yourself, sometimes you have to realize that you just can't post your thoughts on there anymore because people take your thoughts and be like, "Oh, this bitch is being serious." And it's like, no, I'm just, bored and just want to use Twitter like everybody else and just post some random shit. But no, because I'm Michaela Loves Gymnastics and I'm talking about gymnastics, I have to be 100% accurate now. But,
It's never that serious. It's just gymnastics. It's just sports. Even though sports is my life and my greatest passion in life. And I'm dead serious about all of this.
yeah, I can understand why people keep deleting Twitter. Twitter is a wild space. But you know what's even worse than Twitter is that goddamn Reddit. I don't understand how y'all can be gymnastics fans and be on Reddit. Like them Reddit people are fucking insufferable.
I don't even know what to. I'm definitely passing some type of judgment if you're on Reddit, but I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know. It kind of feels like you're bored. Like it's so crazy. It's like not even entertaining to me.
It is it's like, why would you join this gymnastics platform to not hear the other people's opinions, whether you agree with those opinions or not, right? Isn't that why you joined the? And isn't that what Reddit is? Message boards and stuff. Isn't that why you joined those message boards in those places to hear other people's opinions? You could have not thought you was going to join this space, and everybody's opinion was going to be what you thought it was going to be. Nisha says she's on Reddit for entertainment. And see, I hate Reddit, but you know what? Gymnastics community that I love is gymnastics Facebook. But people hate gymnastics Facebook. It's the same way I hate gymnastics Reddit. So, you know, people have their different platforms that they like and they dislike.
I'm on Instagram. Go follow me at Gymnastics Saves Lives. And YouTube, of course.
I mean, gymnastics Instagram, the only reason gymnastics Instagram isn't so unhinged is because it's a lot less opinions and more videos, per se. Or at least the people that I follow. It's a lot less opinions. Now, I have started seeing people, it's this one young lady, I can't remember her name. I kind of enjoy her. Um,
It was kind of like it was kind of messy. She was just like, "Here's the tea, like here's what's going on." And it's like a
but
minute and a half, and it's like no sources, no references, but she's just like, "Here's what's." It's like I don't know who she. It feels like she's catering to an audience of people who know so little about gymnastics, but they're like, "Oh, this is gonna catch my attention if I'm scrolling by." But I haven't checked on her in a while. My favorite thing
I
about
don't.
Instagram is I get to post my stuff, and that's where all the athletes post their training videos and their opinions, and we get to see their insides of their lives. And probably my favorite Instagrams that aren't athletes would be myself, Michaela, and then I really like Rhoda de Gymnastica podcast, and then favorite would have to be Wally, the Soviet gymnastics connoisseur.
Oh, I love Wally so much. Wally knows that I love him so much too. That's the sad part.
I'm just patiently waiting to be gifted one of his free Patreon subscriptions. But he said the worst way to go about getting one of those is to ask. Oops.
Yeah, I would never ask. Um,
Good for you. You're more likely to get it than I am.
hell, he probably thinks I make money from YouTube too. He probably like, why would I give this bitch a free YouTube? She needs to subscribe to my shit. Um,
No comment. No comment.
He's probably like, if she loves me, she at least pay for it for one damn month, bitch. Um,
You're ready to go. I have the comment. Should I read it before we
no,
leave?
go ahead. I was waiting on that, and then I have one more thing I wanted to talk about. I was just trying to remember what it was before we got off.
Okay, second wind. Okay, they say spring 2024, the commission responsible for gender equality within the FIG meets to discuss the absence of male athletes at the professional level in rhythmic gymnastics. Suddenly, the general secretary of the FIG, so
Can I
not
pause?
not
Can I
the
interrupt you
president.
for 1 second, Oscar?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I just wanted to let people know, because I know when people hear it, they're gonna be like, "But there's no men in rhythmic gymnastics." But yes, There is a very, very, very successful rhythmic gymnastics program for men with some different events that they don't have for the women. Um, in like the Asian countries, like I haven't seen it outside of I think it's Korea, maybe Japan, but it's very a beautiful, beautiful sport. But it is flamboyant, though. It is. It is. It's.
I guess I don't know.
I don't know how
I
to make
think
it
that if
less
we
flamboyant.
saw more of it, I haven't been exposed to very much of it, so I'd like to see more of it. Maybe I'll do more research, but who knows what would come if we saw more athletes trying their hand at the sport, you know? Maybe there would be some butch rhythmic gymnastics.
I don't see how. It's like figure
It's
skating
that
for the
it's
men,
that
like.
internalized homophobia, Michaela.
But it's not internalized homophobia. It's like figure skating for the men. Like, no matter how butch they try to make it, I will never see male figure skating as masculine. Is the wrong word.
No,
Um,
I think I agree with you. I'm just being unserious. I think that it's good to have a sport that's like fruity, like accept it for what it is. Get a different sport if you're not into that, if that's a problem with you. So should I keep going? It's not that long. So it was the general secretary of the FIG, not Watanabe and not the IOC. The quote says, "We can't have men strutting around in leotards and rhinestones." He asserts, "I don't want gym to be seen as a gay sport." A silence falls over the assembly. We were all so shocked that we didn't say anything about the moment. That's just a section from the article. But that's where it is, where it ends, because the article you had to pay for to read. An excerpt.
but that is so like,
They don't give a fuck.
and going to what Fred Richards was saying, like it's all like tying into, but it's artistic gymnastics. Like this is just how I feel, and maybe this is my feeling. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I don't think I am. It's called artistic gymnastics. It's not called gymnastics, right? So there has to be some kind of artistic component to it, right? So there's no artistic component to going out and wearing a basketball uniform. That would be called basketball. Artistic gymnastics, like they're in all artistic sports, the clothing is kind of tight. They wear tights. That's in every last one. Even in track and field, they wear tights. In wrestling, they wear tights. Like I just don't in like
Speed skating, toboggan.
all of the things. So it's like, why wouldn't you do things that you like? One of the things that I saw from, I know I'm just being scatterbrained about this conversation, but from the skating community and how openly gay it was, and how it felt like the fans felt very comfortable just being themselves, right? Like the fans, I saw plenty of pride flags and trans pride flags and this pride flag and all of that in the arena, right? And the thing that gymnastics needs to realize is you're playing from the same pool of fans as the skaters. So why not do the thing that makes the skating community works, right? A lot of the male skaters are gay, but a lot of them aren't. It's the same thing with the male gymnasts. Like a lot of them are gay, but a lot of them aren't. But yet they still embrace the artistic component to figure skating. They literally have to as part of the rules. They still wear rhinestones. They still wear their glittery leotards, but they're putting on the performance. That's how they view it. I don't understand why it's so hard to get
And
that from the
sorry.
male. part of gymnastics. Like, why do y'all want to take away what makes the sport beautiful?
I think it's just like a really uninformed, ignorant view on being gay, being queer. I think it's to me, the whole thing is like implying that doing these artistic sports or having a stereotypically feminine uniform. These things gonna increase your chance of turning out gay, and that's just ridiculous. You doing this sport does not make you more likely to be gay, and neither does adding rhinestones to your costume or having a uniform that fits you tightly. That's just like ignorant and stupid to think that. And I don't even really believe that these people who are speaking believe that to be true. Of course, there are people who are like, uneducated on these things who have been told that and that's what they believe. But
And it
it's
also slightly gives to me that, what is this saying? The gun is already in the room, or uh,
what did you say?
this is saying that people say like the gun is already in the room, or something like. Have any clue what I'm talking about?
Well, like if you're gonna be gay, you're gonna be gay. It doesn't matter what you do and what you're exposed to.
No, more like you're protesting a little bit too much. Like, are you protesting because you have some kind of internal secrets that you're keeping from yourself? Like, what's all of this whole gay shit with gymnastics that never was before that is now? Like, I feel like, I don't know, whoever smelt it dealt it. Like, uh,
Right. I don't even know like what homophobia was like in gymnastics and figure skating during like the AIDS crisis, the beginning of the AIDS crisis. So, I mean, for the last 10, 15 years, I've been following gymnastics for even less than that. But like, seems like, homophobia, transphobia, those things are at a peak right now.
and can I just say this while you just said transphobia? To my knowledge, the call is coming from inside the house. Thank you, Sully. Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly the same. The call is coming from inside the house. The thing is with, oh gosh, to my knowledge, there is no trans athletes in gymnastics. To my knowledge, if there is, it's not a male to female trans woman trying to do gymnastics. There is a opposite way of trans. It's a female to male trans man. If there is, that's the one case that I do know about. If there is, if, and this is the big if, there is, it would be. I don't understand why ain't no trans. First of all, oh gosh, it's just a loaded. Basically, to make a long story short, there's no trans woman trying to do competitive gymnastics right now. There might be some kind of a trans or a gym that allows trans gymnasts, but there's no trans woman who's trying to make the Olympic team with Simone Biles. Like, I don't understand why is this going around in the zeitgeist of the universe.
I mean, it's not
But
a bad idea to say that we know of to add that, right?
I keep saying that I know of, right? If I not say that I know of, that I heard of. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible. At this Winter Cup, there was not one trans athlete at this national trials training camp shit. There was not one trans athlete there. Like it does not exist.
I've never heard of an out trans gymnast. Period. And that doesn't mean they don't exist, but I just don't know of any ever.
And the one, and like I keep saying, the one is a trans man, and it was like some small level high school thing, but there's just no trans woman. You don't have to worry about trans women doing gymnastics with your daughters. Like it is just it's
Good or bad, it's just not a reality.
it's just not a reality. Um, Maybe cheerleaders. Now, okay, I will say this, and this ain't got nothing to do with gymnastics, but I don't think there's nothing wrong with trans women doing cheerleading. Like I just don't. Like cheer is one of those sports because of the team component where I think it's perfectly would be fair for a trans woman to be part of a cheer team.
Yeah, I feel like anyone should be able to do any sport they want. But I
And
don't
maybe it's a trans cheerleader, and that's where y'all getting this from, because maybe she's flipping, and because she's flipping, y'all think she's doing gymnastics. So I have to do more research into that one too. Um, and with that being said, I am completely tapped out at this point in time, and I'm starving. So, Oscar, where can the people find you at?
come find me on YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Gymnastics Saves Lives. And go follow me on Instagram at Gymnastics Saves Lives. If you so like to.
And with that being said, I'm going to download this video and post it to Twitter.
Yay!
And oh yes, after this NCAA season, we are moving the show back to Saturdays like normal. So you'll have more shows and a more consistent day, which will be Saturdays like we usually do it. Um, and plus Saturdays will be a better day because that's right in the middle of elite gymnastics. So most times it would be like after day one of whatever elite whatever. Saturdays is just a better day for elite gymnastics.
So when can the people expect us to do our next show? Because it's kind of a weird time right now.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be Monday again after all of the Just Lord World Cups.
Okay.
Or yeah, probably Monday or Tuesday again of next week. Because then we're definitely Tuesday would be a best day because then we'll have to preview the NCAA championships, which will be starting that Thursday. So yeah. So Monday or Tuesday of next week. I mean, unless some tea happens this weekend, then we'll probably do a show this weekend. But I don't think no tea's gonna happen. I mean, it could.
Who knows what's gonna happen?
Who knows?
These elite meets.
And with that being said,
Bye.
people. Thank you, Oscar. Bye, everybody.
Good night.